up, Sun Devils? Join me, Chris Town, as I scour the entirety of ASU to find the heroes who do it all. The unsung who brave the challenges to make our university at the top. Let's bring the spotlight to those who do the most and see how they do it all. Join me for the Unsung Heroes of ASU, live every Thursday at 3 p.m. only on Blaze Radio.
It's official. Blaze Radio has once again been voted as the top streaming radio station in the country by Intercollegiate Broadcasting System. Blaze Radio continues to be the standard when it comes to college student radio and is honored to once again receive this incredible award. We could not do what we do without you, so we thank you for listening to Blaze Radio, BlazeRadioOnline.com.
Do you like MMA or UFC? Well, come check out Unanimous Decision, the all-purpose MMA show where we interview professional fighters and debate past, current, and future events in the UFC. Tune in every Monday at 7:30 p.m. for the Unanimous Decision.
Clark, step back three. You bet. Hall lets it fly.
Hey, it's Lauren.
And I'm Kinla. We're two sports journalism majors who basically grew up on the field, the court, and in the stands.
Welcome to The Athlete Era, your weekly dose of women's sports and what it's really like to live life as 20-year-old girls in the sporting world.
From buzzer beaters and rivalries to our own behind-the-scenes stories, we bring you takes you won't hear anywhere else. Catch Athlete Era every Sunday from 4 to 5.
Right here on Blaze Radio.
Tune in and join the era.
Welcome into the College Carousel. We unpack the latest in college sports from basketball to football to softball and more. Join your hosts Anthony Sakuman, Memphis Coles, and Annie Wingert every Tuesday at 4 p.m. streaming on BlazeRadio.com so we can spin you around the College Carousel.
In a world where sports movies are forbidden, two friends try to save the world one radio show at a time before it's too late.
Thankfully, sports movies are not banned yet, but you should still listen to Friday Night Lights Camera Action every Friday at 7 p.m. Arizona time. Your hosts Ethan Neal and Parker Perel will have you covered with your favorite sports movies with insightful and funny commentary. This is your chance to listen to Blaze Radio's premier sports movie talk show before sports movies are banned forever.
Now go out there and take it.
Want to see more of Blaze Radio? Follow us on Instagram, X, TikTok, and Facebook by searching for @BlazeRadioASU, where you'll find high-caliber student-produced content. Follow, like, repost, and share as we take Blaze Radio all the way to the moon.
It's been a scorching hot month of March here in the state of Arizona, and as this heat wave rolls on, the Arizona State Bats have been surging as well. Fresh off a Game 1 victory, the number 22 Sun Devils and the number 17 West Virginia Mountaineers battle it out here on a Saturday night in Phoenix. Hello, everybody. He's Aidan O'Neill. I'm Lochlan McTeague. Thank you so much for listening to us here on Blaze Sports' YouTube for Game 2 between the West Virginia Mountaineers and the Arizona State Sun Devils. And Aidan, first off, a lot of offense last night for Arizona State. 13 runs. They run-ruled West Virginia 14-4 in 8 innings. Landon Hairston was the show. He launched a grand slam, had 8 total RBIs as well.
He's absolutely incredible, and what he's been able to do as just a true sophomore for this Arizona State team has been frankly insane. He had 2 home runs last night, one which was a grand slam, already tying the single-season grand slam record for an Arizona State Sun Devil. And Lochlan, it's March, and he's still doing that. He's been unreal, made a diving catch in left field, but this team as a whole, when it comes to offense, has really stood out to me. They're top 20 in the nation in runs scored, averaging 9+ a game. And to think that in a year after they lost 9 players to the MLB draft, to bring all these players, 27 new faces into the dugout, and equal that production, credit to Willie Bloomquist, credit to everybody, because that's a rare sight.
And on the other side for West Virginia, you got a guy on the mound, left-hander Max Yale, who you look at his numbers and you're like, why isn't this guy starting on Fridays? Well, he didn't pitch last year at all for West Virginia. Comes back and, boy, you wouldn't know it. 32 innings pitched. He's got a 0.84 ERA. He's been phenomenal for West Virginia. Now the argument on the other side of that is he hasn't seen a lineup quite as potent as Arizona State, but an intriguing matchup nonetheless.
We were talking about it off air. I think you mentioned it. When you were reading the ERA, it was hard to comprehend. You rubbed your eyes a couple times to make sure what you were reading was true. But he didn't pitch the last 2 years due to injury. He's coming off Tommy John. Incredible, though. His last start versus BYU, he went 7 innings, just 5 hits and 1 run, 11 strikeouts to 0 walks. And he's getting deeper into games. He's a tall lefty standing at 6'6", husky, 235-pounder. He's going to bring it with 3 pitches, and he's going deeper into games as the season goes on. But the elephant in the room, he hasn't faced an offense this good. West Virginia as a staff has been the best in the Big 12. Yesterday they gave up 14 runs. So that just shows how good the Sun Devils are offensively. It's 2 juggernauts on the pitching side and with those bats.
So Arizona State, they've had a couple extended homestands this season, and they're in the midst of one right now, coming off a road trip that took them to Manhattan, Kansas, and Las Vegas, where they took 3 of 4 games there. They had a midweek and then a weekend series at home here. And we're introducing the 3rd member of our crew now, over to Jordan Talley, who has more on the Sun Devils' home successes this season.
Yeah, thank you so much, Lochlan. Like you said, currently the Sun Devils have a 20-6 overall record, but have been absolutely electric at home and completely dominant at home. Currently 16-1 record, with their 1 lone loss coming at the opening of Big 12 play on March 13th, the narrow 5-4 loss to number 17 TCU. 9 out of 17 games played at home have been double-digit victories for the Sun Devils, and they have the best record at home in the NCAA D1 baseball. So you're gonna think you're gonna see lots of bats flying, lots of hot bats tonight. So excited to see what comes on. Thanks, guys.
Thank you for that, Jordan. First pitch, moments away. The meeting at the plate, I should say, has concluded. Teams in their dugout anxiously waiting to get game number 2 going. Will the Sun Devils get to Yale and take the series, or will Yale assert his dominance on the mound and get the Mountaineers back even here at Phoenix Municipal? We'll find out on the other side of this break. Lineups and first pitch next here on Blaze.
Have you ever wondered why your team can just never draft a quarterback?
There's the big gaffe that has plagued Zach Wilson.
Are you a sicko who wants to know how your season can come to a grinding halt?
Shaheed breaks through.
Or maybe it just feels like your team will never make the offseason moves to become a real contender.
And May got there.
If this applies to you, then tune in to Roll the Tape.
Every Wednesday from 2 to 3 p.m. on Blaze Radio with Will Anderson, Avery Getchie, and Jack Kemler.
Because it just feels better to know what you're watching the next time your team is losing.
Are you busy on Fridays at 3 p.m.?
Are you bored and looking for entertainment and a good laugh?
Do you want to be educated on Black culture, topics, and college life?
Well, tune into the Black Tech Podcast
on BlazeRadioOnline.com every Friday at 3 p.m.
Do you miss fantasy football? Well, don't worry, we do too. But just because it's the off season doesn't mean the fantasy football forecast is dormant.
That's right, Jacob. We've got a lot more to talk about, from free agency in the NFL draft to Dynasty League rankings and so much more.
So make sure to tune in to the Fantasy Football Forecast hosted by myself, Jacob Brooks, alongside Isaac Robertson on Tuesdays from 9 to 10 p.m. on Blaze Radio to get ahead for your fantasy leagues next year.
Forks Up Sun Devils, join me, Chris Town, as I scour the entirety of ASU to find the heroes who do it all. The unsung who brave the challenges to make our university at the top. Let's bring the spotlight to those who do the most and see how they do it all. Join me for the Unsung Heroes of ASU, live every Thursday at 3 p.m. only on Blaze Radio.
This is your captain speaking. It's time to fasten your seatbelts, open your ears, and board the audio passport.
Coming to you live every Monday from 7 to 8 p.m. on BlazeRadioOnline.com with your pilots, Noah Fuller
and Stephanie Doty. Each flight we will explore the sound and critical reception of local musicians from a new destination.
We hope you join us on this masterclass experience and choose the audio passport as your next airline.
Safe travels
and salutations.
Hello, gorgeous people. It's Natalia Marin, and I have a secret to share. I have a new show. It's called The Mood Board, and it discusses what should be on your mood board every single week. Whether it's a new fashion tip, useful beauty trend, fun up-and-coming artist, or the next movie you just have to see, you will know why I love it and why you should too. It's every Tuesday at 4:30 on BlazeRadioOnline.com. So sit back, relax, and enjoy learning about our new obsession.
What if your favorite player never got injured, or what if the biggest trade never even happened?
We'll take a step into the multiverse every Thursday at 8 p.m. with Jacob Shanker, Crawford McKinstry, and Justin Lacertosa as they discuss some of the biggest what-ifs in NBA history and see how it alters basketball forever.
With basketball into the multiverse.
If you're a tennis fan and want to take a little break from your day, I'm serving up a show for you. This is your host, Pratham Valluri, bringing you Match Point, your weekly tennis content. I'll cover ongoing tournaments, go over the latest news, analyze players and matches, and replay the previous week's biggest moments. Be sure to tune into Match Point every Wednesday from 3 to 3:30 p.m. on Blaze Radio.
Moments away from first pitch in game number 2 between the Mountaineers and the Sun Devils here on a gorgeous evening at Phoenix Municipal Stadium. He's Aidan O'Neill. I'm Lochlan McTeague. Arizona State taking the field. White pants, black uniforms, black caps, maroon brims this evening. West Virginia all gray with blue and gold hats as well. Taking a look at the starting pitcher, the new Saturday guy, Alex Overbay. The UNLV transfer has put together 3 starts so far this season, 17 1/3 innings of work, a 5.19 ERA as well. Got roughed up a little bit in his last start up in Manhattan last Saturday, but what can you tell us about him, Aidan?
Hard thrower. You're going to see a fastball in the mid-90s, gets up to 96, 97. He's going to pound the zone, gets a lot of swing and miss, but what comes with swing and miss? Walks. He has 12 on the season. So for him, it's about limiting that free pass, staying in the strike zone, and trusting that defense behind him. That last start out, he struggled, and as he's gone deeper into games as a starter, that last one being against Kansas State, he gave up 6 runs, 4 of them being earned. Prior to that, when he was in the bullpen, he really was nails, but they've now moved him up into that Saturday role. He'll look to bounce back tonight.
The lineup the Mountaineers are throwing out there against Overbay this evening, similar to last night. Matt Einesch leads off. He'll play shortstop. Gavin Kelly, the catcher, bats second. Paul Schoenefeld, the center fielder, batting third. Sean Smith, the DH, batting in the cleanup spot. Brock Wills is in right field, batting fifth. Brody Kresser is the second baseman, batting sixth. 7-8-9, left fielder Matthew Gravelin. First baseman Armani Guzman. And third baseman Tyrus Hall, rounding out the order for West Virginia. Some dangerous guys at the top of that order. Got 350, 419, 422, 324, and 3 guys at the top of that order as well, Aidan, with OPSs over 1,000. Not too shabby for the Mountaineers.
They really can mash, and the guy that jumps off the page is standing on deck in Gavin Kelly. We'll get more to him in just a second, but his numbers are absolutely ridiculous. Last year, 2025 Big 12 all-freshman team. So Overbay is going to be tested from the jump. Einesch is super talented. Schoenfeld also has shown a lot as a D2 transfer. Lineup is loaded for both sides, so the pitchers have their work cut out for them.
Overbay just about set. They're tossing the ball around the infield. The defensive lineup here for Arizona State. Battery mate tonight for Alex Overbay will be Cohen Nikolai, excuse me. It'll be Landon Harrison in left, Dominic Longo in center, and Dean Toigo in right. Austin Rolig gets the start at third base. PJ Moutsaritas at short. Beckett Zvorak at second. And Dominic Smaldino at first base. First pitch ready to go. Overbay kicks and deals. 95 fastball outside. Misses for ball number 1. First pitch right on time at 6:35. Overbay ready with the 1-0. And that's a hefty hack there by Einish, but he just clips it foul off the mesh.
Einish transferring in from Ohio. He's been really good batting, .356.
Couple key transfer additions at the top of this lineup as the 1-1 is slashed and fouled back by Einish. Lefty bat to lead off for West Virginia. On base percentage of .496, slugging of .517, .356 batting average. What you want from your guy leading off as the 2-2 is low. 1 ball and a strike, I should say, so that'll even the count at 2 apiece for Overbay. You missed with the off speed. Still in a 2-strike count against West Virginia's leadoff man. The 2-2 ripped into center. That'll get down for a base hit. So Matt Einish on base early. Nobody out. Good start for the Mountaineers.
In a 2-strike count, that just caught too much plate for Overbay. He tried to go back to the fastball. Einish was ready. Last night, they held the leadoff man in Einish to no hits, so he bounces back right there.
West Virginia has some speed on the base paths. Einish only attempted 4 stolen bases. He's only stolen 1 bag this year, however. This will bring up Gavin Kelly, the catcher. First pitch to him. Misses just high, 87 on the radar gun. Ball 1 from Overbay.
This guy, Gavin Kelly, Lochlan, riding an 18-game hitting streak. There's only been 1 game this year where he hasn't had a hit.
West Virginia, the difference in their lineup, and we'll talk about this a lot depending on how they hit the ball. Arizona State relies on the long ball, and why not at a park like Muni? But West Virginia, boy, they spray the ball around the field with effectiveness. 1-0 on the way from Overbay. Top of the zone, misses again. Unable to clip his spot there at the top of the zone. 2 balls, no strikes. Nobody out here in the top of the first. The lone man on base is Matt Einish. Hit a leadoff single. Overbay's 2-0 is ready. This one's flared in the air, right field line. Coming on is Toigo, and it drops in fair territory. Going from first to third is Einish, and the Mountaineers have runners on the corners, nobody away here, as it'll bring up Paul Schoenefeld. Quick rally starting here for West Virginia. Back-to-back singles to begin this ballgame.
2 things, really good hands from Gavin Kelly to get his hands to that pitch, keeping him tight to his body and flipping it to right field, but also unlucky. Alex Overbay makes a good pitch. Kelly's late on the fastball. Just enough strength to keep it fair.
Runners on the corners, nobody away. Here's Paul Schoenfeld. Takes one high again, so another first pitch ball. 3rd straight batter he's lost the first pitch of the AB to, has Overbay.
And that's difficult too, Lochlan, because then you can zone in on that fastball that doesn't have cut, it doesn't have sink, it's really straight.
So here's the 1-0. At the knees, just low, says home plate umpire Christopher Gonzalez. Be calling balls and strikes this evening. We got a Christopher, a Chris, a Mike, and a Michael as our umpires. 2 balls and no strikes, still nobody out to Schoenfeld. Overbay deals. Big swing and a miss there, 94 on the fastball. Waves right through it, does the left-handed hitting center fielder.
Yeah, 2 of our umps with the government name on the birth certificate, and 2 of them like being called the nickname or the shorter version.
Probably makes it easier.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Overbay's 2-1. High for ball 3, hitter-friendly count for Schoenfeld, who's batting .422. And Aidan, this guy comes from Colorado Mesa, a Division II program. Colorado Mesa made a deep run in the D2 World Series ranks. I believe he was in a regional with UT Tyler, who went on to the World Series as well. Hitter friendly for Schoenfeld. He slaps that one back foul off the netting. 96 on the gun from Overbay. Really pepper in that fastball, and there's nothing really else you can do. 3-2, nobody out, runners on the corners. You got to pound the zone.
Right here, could see him go to that changeup. He's been seeing fastball. He's fouling it straight back. It's a similar arm action. Could get him out in front.
Einish on third, Kelly on first, Schoenfeld at the plate. 3-2, full count, nobody out. Popped in the air, left field line. Long run for Landon Harrison. And that ball will get out foul into the student bleachers. Take 2 on the full count offering here.
But that's the beauty of baseball, Lochlan. So many diamonds in the rough. Schoenfeld started at Butler Community College, worked his way to Colorado Mesa, and now you're batting in the 3-hole for one of the best teams in the country. It's so unique. You don't see it in any other sport.
Overbay ready with another 3-2. And just like last time, a foul ball off the bat of Schoenfeld. This time it's back out of the confines here at Phoenix Municipal. You know, we've seen enough games here where there are specific balls that get fouled back that can get into the seats depending on the trajectory, but that one was not one of them. Mountaineers have men on the corners, nobody out still. Overbay looking for out number 1, the 3-2. Hit high in the air, shallow left field. Hairston under it. Takes a couple steps to his left, makes the catch and throws it into the infield, 1 away. Missed opportunity for Schoenfeld. He'll be kicking himself after that one, going back to the dugout.
And you're thinking runner on third, less than 2 outs, just a ball in the outfield deep enough to score a guy, but he gets under it too much, and that forces Einish at third to hold. Great job by Overbay, sticking with it, keeping competitive, not losing command of the strike zone. And it's just as good as a strikeout.
It's easy for Overbay as well, as you know, you get a single ripped up the middle and then one that just clips into fair territory. It can kind of rattle you a little bit, but first pitch on the way. Again, another first pitch ball from Overbay, this time to the cleanup man, Sean Smith. He's the DH, a grad student, batting .324 on the year. The 1-0 from Overbay, slapped in play right side. It gets through into the outfield. So Ionish scores. The first run of the game for the second straight evening will go to the Mountaineers as it's an RBI single for Sean Smith. 1 away here in the top of the first, 1-0 Mountaineers. That's the 3rd hit already this inning.
And despite, aside from that first hit, Matt Einish, it's been a lot of soft contact. Kelly got it off the hands. That was dribbled to the right side. So some bad luck for Overbay. He got a ground ball. It just found a hole.
Men on first and second here, 1 away for Brock Wills. Takes one away for ball number 1. So again, Overbay can't find it on the first pitch of the AB. You got to think as this inning goes on, your eyes got to light up if you're a Mountaineer at the plate if you see anything even remotely close fastball in the zone on that first pitch. 2 on, 1 away, 1-0. Hefty swing and a miss there. 95 on the fastball, got him swinging.
And you best believe that's something Jeremy Accardo, ASU pitching coach, is looking at. Very important statistic. Are you getting in the zone early in counts? Because that allows you to play off that secondary stuff.
Aces wild on the scoreboard, 1-1. Chopped on the ground, a second. For 1, back to first. Smaldino's foot came off the bag. They might challenge this, hold the phone. I believe they're going to overrule this on the field in real time. A 4-6-3 double play, Zavorak to Mutsaritas to Smaldino. And just like that, the Sun Devils might be out of the inning here.
Yeah, and it was Sean Smith. I believe he didn't slide at second base, so they're calling interference on that. And West Virginia's head coach is having a conversation with those 2 umpires. But it was the second base umpire and Michael Chuckerman who made that official call. So he wasn't overruling that Dominic Smaldino was off the bag. He was saying that there was interference on the runner, resulting, because he didn't slide, in an automatic double play.
And a tough break for the Mountaineers because Smaldino's foot was absolutely off the bag, but the infielders are still crowded around first base. So we'll see if West Virginia head coach Steve Sabbins is going to challenge this maybe. Now everyone from ASU back out of the dugout. What a weird first inning here for Alex Overbay.
Extremely peculiar, but my question would be, how can you overturn this? Because this was just a call made by the second base umpire. There's nothing to overturn. And just like that, we're going to the next half inning.
So there we go. A apparent 4-6-0 double play almost seemingly to end the inning, but The Mountaineers string together 3 hits. They put the pressure on Overbay and get the first run of the ball game for the second consecutive night. We'll see what the Sun Devil lineup in Landon Harrison has in store for us after this break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back for more here on Blaze.
Introducing Minor League's major show, Up on Deck. As I'm your host, Tyler Wargo, going to give you guys the insights and the analysis on prospects that surround the minor leagues and even rating and ranking ballparks that surround the minor leagues. This is Blaze Radio's longest running show dating back to January of 2022. We hope to see you guys tuning in every Sunday from 6 to 7 p.m. on BlazeRadioOnline.com.
Welcome into the College Carousel. We unpack the latest in college sports from basketball to football to softball and more. Join your hosts Anthony Sakuman, Memphis Coles, and Annie Wingert every Tuesday at 4 p.m. streaming on BlazeRadio.com so we can spin you around the College Carousel.
You know, Timber, I'm glad we're both on the same page. We love fangirling.
Me too, Jazz. That's why we made a whole show about it.
The Fangirl Forum is back and better than ever.
Join us every Sunday at 1:30 p.m. on Blaze Radio to hear the rundown on all our favorite shows, movies, books, and more.
Tune in at BlazeRadioOnline.com.
Channel your inner fangirl.
Welcome back to Phoenix Municipal Stadium. Bottom of the first coming up. Arizona State trails 1-0 against West Virginia, and they come to the plate with a leadoff man in Landon Harrison, who had himself quite the evening yesterday. And with more, here's the third member of our team, Jordan Talley.
Thank you, Lochlan. Like you said, he had quite a night last night, and I don't think that's going to slow down for the sophomore. 5th in the nation in batting average with a .458, tied for second in hits with 44, and now tied for most grand slams in a single season in ASU history with 4, and it's only March, kind of like you said.
Thank you for that, Jordan. The left-handed hitting left fielder digs into the box. First pitch he sees, he slashes this through the left side. And he's rounding first with conviction. He's going to try and stretch this into a double. The throw from the left fielder is not there. Hairston sliding in safe with a double to begin the bottom of the first. Don't look now. That's another extra base hit for Landon Harrison.
It's impossible to not smile ear to ear watching this guy. He's just so talented. Another double. He's up to 12 on the season. Jumps on the first pitch. And it's to the opposite field. His first homer yesterday. Beautiful swing the other way. So polished. It's unbelievable.
So here's the shortstop, PJ Moutsouridis, showing bunt, ball in the dirt. Hairston's going to take a free 90 feet to third base. Just like that, 2 pitches into this ball game. Landon Hairston's on third, nobody out, 1-0 the count to Moutsouridis.
And that's what you're looking for out of your leadoff guy, a spark plug. And he does so much more than just ignite energy, but showing that dugout, watching him round from first to second, taking that chance, and it ended up paying off. Now standing 90 feet away.
The 1-0 on the way from Yale, outside corner, back door, clips it. 1-1 the count, 84 on the radar gun. Gavin Kelly is his battery mate tonight. Ty Hall at third. Matt Heinisch at short. Kressler at second. Guzman gets the start at first. Outfield left to right. It's Gravelin, Schoenfeld, and Willis as the throw from Kelly trying to pick up Hairston goes into left field. 390 feet all around, and we're tied at 1. So for the second straight evening, Landon Harrison ties this ball game seemingly by himself.
Well, in the blink of an eye, he had a double. He got to third on a wild pitch, and then a poor decision from Gavin Kelly, who got greedy. Tried to backpick Landon at third, bounced off Landon's back into short left field, and he scores.
The 2-1, another really good pitch on that back door by Yale. Yale 0.84 ERA, a whip of 1. He's 4-0 on the season as well. Terrific numbers for the left-hander. 2-2 to Moutsouridis. in the dirt. And it looked like it hit his foot, actually. So Mutsaritas, talk about a free 90. The Sun Devils have a man on base once again with nobody out. So that'll bring up the third baseman, Austin Rolig.
And they're getting to this dominant big lefty in Maxiel. We talked about him off the top. He's been so good. An ERA that is south of 1. The umps are now going to come together to maybe get a second look on if PJ Mutsaritas was hit on that left foot.
So just a weird start to this game. And going back to Landon Hairston, to begin his career as a Sun Devil, he had just 1 extra base hit through his first 27 games. And he has 38 extra base hits in his 52 games since. Unbelievable stuff, and he has just 7 games this season without one, and already he extends that streak once again.
And he had a plan when he got up there. Maxiel, he has a fastball in the mid-90s. You could tell left on left, that's going to be a tough at-bat. But he stuck his nose in, he looked for a fastball first pitch, and drove it the other way. It was textbook. Still stoppage on the field. It looks like they're reviewing it now up that third base line to see if Mutsaritas was hit by a pitch. So unsure if this was a challenge initiated from West Virginia's dugout or the umps just saying, hey, let's look at this.
And it was tough to see from our angle, right? Because anytime a ball skipped in the dirt, at least, or to the right of the press boxes here at Phoenix Municipal, so we kind of get almost a 25-degree angle look at home plate. But it would be huge for the Sun Devils regardless. I mean, either way, you have Mutsaritas on first with nobody out, or Mutsaritas is in a full count with nobody out, putting pressure on a pitcher who's kind of been rattled already.
No doubt. This has been something that Maxiel has not been used to at any point this season.
And it's not like West Virginia is
West Virginia is comfortable with that. And that's where hit by pitches become even more frustrating.
The fielding percentage is even more impressive for West Virginia just because of how many different guys have started in different spots. You look at Guzman, who's been in left, right. He's played second base a couple times. He's got the start at first. Same with Kresser. He's been in the corners of the outfield. And, you know, your only 2 really mainstay guys are in that left side of the infield with Aidan and Ty Hall. But other than that, everyone seems pretty replaceable. So there's the call. Third base umpire Chris Koski says that, not Zavorik, but Mutsaritas got hit by that pitch. So that'll bring up Austin Rolig getting the start here at third base today. Trying to keep this train moving. The Sun Devils batted around in, I believe, 3 consecutive innings last night. Contributed to an extremely long 8-inning game. First offering, Mutsaritas off to second. Throw down from Kelly is a good one, and they got him. A laser beam from behind home plate. Gavin Kelly erases his error from the throw into left field, trying to get Hairston at third with a dot to second base. 1 away, nobody on now as Mutsaritas is caught stealing for just the 3rd time this season on 10 attempts.
Well, there you go. Make up for the error, Gavin Kelly. An absolute hose down to second.
Now the 1-0 is in there for a strike on Rolig. 1-1 from Yale. 1 away. 1 hit for the Sun Devils, 1 error for West Virginia, 1 run on the board for each team here in the bottom of the first at Muni. The lefty ready. Deals one on the back door once again. 92 on the radar gun. Strike number 2.
Rolig was in the thick of that offensive output last night, was 3 for 5, and he's currently riding a 3-game hitting streak. So Willie rewards him with that spot in the 3-hole.
Check swing. Got him anyway. Strike 3. There's K number 1 on the evening for Yale. 2 down here in the bottom of the first. That'll bring up the cleanup hitter, the DH tonight, New Contradas. And a spot that I think New's going to be in for at least another week or so until his hamstring fully heals. I know he was questioned last night heavily on the health and him not fully running 100% up the first base line all the time. So Willie Bloomquist electing to just use his bat tonight, and why not? First pitch to Contradas, hefty swing and a miss. 93 up in the zone for strike number 1.
Well, Lochlan, if you hit a ball that goes 440 feet, you don't got to worry about running too fast. And you did that last night.
Contradas and Hairston each with 2 home runs. This one slapped into right field. That gets down. So the beat goes on for New Contradas. That's another hit. Second hit of the inning. Contradas with a single, 2 down here as he passes the baton to Dean Toigo, excuse me, the right fielder.
He's been scorching hot. A brilliant approach to the opposite field. Saw that fastball deep. Just let his hands do the work.
Toigo, like Overbay, comes from UNLV. Infield shifts. First pitch up and in. Little buzz the tower there. 1-0 the count. Lefty-lefty action here. Contradas taking his lead on first. Einesh behind the bag at second. Kresser, deep in the hole at second base. The 1-0, big swing and a miss from Toigo. 1-1 the count.
Mentioned how Overbay has been a successful UNLV transfer. Toigo's been even better. Been so good.
1-1, foul tip in and out of the glove of Kelly. So Toigo's in a 2-strike count all of a sudden here. He's got 11 home runs this season. 13th in the country, 3rd in the Big 12. Crazy that 11 home runs doesn't even lead your own team. Ball and 2 strikes to the big right fielder. Good take. Just outside, says home plate umpire Chris Gonzalez. Evens the count at 2 apiece with 2 away.
Yale's got 2 off-speed pitches. The slider, that's that horizontal break, and then the big curveball. That slider was filthy with some late movement.
Yale tries the 2-2. Toigo popped in the air. Shallow left. Coming on is Gravlin. And he's there to make the catch. But Landon Hairston, solo effort on the base paths. He leads off with a double. Ball in the dirt, advances him to third, and then a poor decision by the West Virginia catcher. An error brings him home and ties this ball game at 1. Overbay and the Sun Devils head out there for the start of the top of the second. We'll be back for more here on Blaze.
If you're happy on a Sunday, tune into The Jay Foo Show. If you're happy on a Sunday, tune into The Jay Foo Show. If you're happy on a Sunday and you want to crush the day and or the week ahead, tune into The Jay Foo Show. That's right, I'm Jack Footer, aka Jay Foo, back with you Sunday mornings from 10 to 11 a.m. for another awesome semester of The Jay Foo Show. So tune in and you will say it's the best time you've had all week.
Clock it! Clock it!
Tune in to Out of Timeouts at 2 p.m. on Thursdays at blazeradioonline.com. Out of Timeouts is a sports show hosted by Xavier Maserati, Wesley Stomball, and Angus Trangmo. Every week we have 4 segments that are timed and we can't stop the clock. There is of course a slight break for halftime in our question of the week. You can also listen on Spotify with new episodes dropping every week on Fridays at 11 a.m. in Arizona. Looks like I'm out of time. Make sure to tune in.
In a world where sports movies are forbidden, 2 friends try to save the world one radio show at a time before it's too late.
Thankfully, sports movies are not banned yet, but you should still listen to Friday Night Lights Camera Action every Friday at 7 p.m. Arizona time. Your hosts Ethan Neal and Parker Burrell will have you covered with your favorite sports movies with insightful and funny commentary. This is your chance to listen to Blaze Radio's premier sports movie talk show before sports movies are banned forever.
Now go out there and take it.
Welcome back, top of the second, ready to go here quick. Overbay, the right-hander on the mound. He'll face Kresser, Gravlin, and Armani Guzman. 6, 7, and 8 in the order for West Virginia with this ball game tied up at 1 apiece. First pitch / foul up over our heads and out of play. 0-1 the count. Brody Kresser has been a utility man in the infield and outfield. 338 batting average as he slaps this one up the middle. It gets by a diving Mutsaritas into center field. So just like last time in the top of the first, the Mountaineers begin the inning with a base knock.
Kresser was 2 for 3 in last night's contest and immediately starts this one with a knock. Overbay, he got into the strike zone to open up that at-bat. It looked more promising, but then that off-speed pitch just caught too much plate, and Kresser was ready for it.
Here's Matthew Gravelin, the left fielder. Infield at double play depth right now. Foul back, first pitch, so encouraging sign for Overbay with an 0-1 count this time around. He struggled to land his first pitch in the zone to begin the ball game, and that really hurt him.
It's important to continue to pound that strike zone as much as possible, stay on those corners.
Overbay's 0-1 is ready. Outside, ball number 1 to him. Overbay didn't start the season in the Sun Devils rotation initially. He was more of a long reliever guy, and then all of a sudden he kind of just pitched his way into the Saturday role, seemingly.
Yeah, Willie had him backing up Cole Carlone on Friday nights, and that was a dominant 1-2 punch.
Big swing and a miss there on the off speed. A ball and 2 strikes to the West Virginia left fielder. Man on first, it's Brody Kresser. After he led off the inning with a single up the middle. 4th hit already of the ball game for West Virginia. Overbay's 1-2 ready. Off speed, outside corner, just misses. Really good take, great patience at the plate as well. You know, a lot of guys would have swung at that offering.
Yeah, just outside from up top here. It looked like it might have caught that outside corner.
Count even at 2 apiece. Almost a pitch out at first base, so 3 balls and 2 strikes. It's Nikolai, the catcher, threw over to Smaldino at first. Full count offering, 1 man on already for West Virginia. Nobody out here in the top of the second. 1-1 is our score. The payoff pitch on the way from Overbay. Slaps left side, gets by a diving Moutsouridis again, so back-to-back base hits, this time to the left and to the right of the outstretched glove of P.J. Moutsouridis. He goes 0 for 2, however, and 2 men are on here to begin the top of the second for the Mountaineers.
Setting the table, ready for that fastball. And you're right, Moutsouridis, last batter, dove to his left. This time it took him to his right, couldn't get there. And the table is set. Now at the bottom of this lineup, I'd expect a bunt here with Armani Guzman with no outs to move those runners over, and it looks like Smaldino and Longo over there at third are anticipating it.
Guzman has started all 22 games as he takes this outside for ball number 1. Another lefty bat in this lineup. Again, they're not a team that's going to rely on the long ball, but they can put the ball in play with just about the best of anybody. And the bunt down, third base side, coming in as Roleg on to first in time. So they do the old Billy Bean. If they bunt it, just throw it to first, take the quick out, don't try and go to second, don't try and go to third. But a good job there by Guzman, as now here's the speedy Tyrus Hall from Victoria, British Columbia. Aidan, you and I are very familiar with the Summer Ball League in the West Coast League.
Oh, yeah.
Ty Hall, familiar as well. Played with the Victoria Harbor Cats, his hometown team. Takes one outside. And like a couple of other Mountaineers on this team, he comes from the JUCO route in Bossier Paris Community College, a great JUCO that has been known for advancing players to mid-major Division I. Now a pick off to third, unsuccessful from Overbay, just trying to keep Brody Kresser at bay.
And you already see Willie Bloomquist bringing those corners in. Hard line drive, looking to cut down the runner at home.
Now the 1-0 is high to Hall. Ty Hall's got a lot of lineage in his family. His dad was a MLB draft pick to the Oakland A's as well. Brother played collegiate basketball in Canada. 2-0 from Overbay, outside ball 3. Sticky situation developing here for the Sun Devils. As waiting on deck is Matt Einish at the top of the order.
That pitch count ticking up for Overbay, Lochlan. He's not used to even going that long a game, so I'm peeking down to that bullpen to see if there's any stirring.
3-0, hefty swing and a miss at 95 up in the zone from Hall. Still hitter friendly, though, for the Canadian right-handed batter. Playing third base. The everyday third baseman has come in as a junior for West Virginia.
And knowing the top of the order's on deck, you expect this to be a challenge.
3-1 hitter friendly from Overbay. Slapped in the air, deep left center field. Hairston on the run in the gap, and he can't get to it. It drops off the wall. Kresser scores. Gravelin right behind him, and Tyrus Hall has himself a stand-up triple. What a statement in the 9-hole. And the Mountaineers lead 3-1. Safe to say Hall was up for the challenge, Aidan O'Neill.
And Hairston was tracking that ball all the way into deep left center, and he almost got there. Just by a fraction of an inch, he couldn't get his glove up in time as he was chasing after it. But you're right, Overbay challenged him. Tyrus Hall was ready. He punished that fastball that wasn't on a corner, and West Virginia leads 3-1.
So for the second time, here's Matt Einish. The Mountaineers shortstop takes one away for ball number 1. Singled up the middle to begin this ball game. And the Mountaineers have just kind of kept the ball rolling since that point. 6 hits so far, infield in. As that pitch sails over the head of the catcher, sliding in at home plate is Hall, and he's safe. The ball took a crazy carom. It was a hot shot off the backstop. Nicolay played it and then tried to tag Hall at home, but it was not nearly in time. So boy, have yourself a time, Tyrus Hall, a stand-up triple, 2 RBIs, and then you take a hard 90 feet to give your team a 3-run lead. Now Overbay's 2-0 to Einish, high for ball number 3. You mentioned the movement in the bullpen. There still really is none. Couple guys walking and moving around. See if anyone starts throwing. 3-0 to Einish. In there comfortably at 95 for strike number 1.
And credit to West Virginia, they've been piecing together quality at-bats, but it all has started with the inability to find the zone at the beginning of counts.
The 3-1 is low. Another walk issued by Overbay. Line score to this point, 4-1 for West Virginia on 6 hits. The Sun Devils have just 2, and it looks like Jeremy Accardo will march out there to talk to his Saturday guy on the hill. And again, Aidan, last Saturday in Manhattan, it was an 18-12 victory for Arizona State, and Overbay got roughed up in that game, but when you got the run support like that, it doesn't really matter.
And that's college baseball in a nutshell. Even if you have a blow-up start, you can win the game, especially when you have an offense like the Sun Devils do that can score over 9 runs per game. But that transition, Lochlan, from being a reliever and being dominant behind Cole Carlone on Friday nights, now in that starting role, you have to imagine down there in the dugout for Willie Bloomquist, those wheels are spinning, considering, hey, maybe we move him back into the bullpen. Might have stuff that's more effective in shorter appearances. You wonder.
With 1 away and a man on, here's the catcher, Gavin Kelly. Kelly swings at the first pitch and fouls this over the first base side, out of play.
So we didn't mention it after he flipped that single into right field, but that brings the hitting streak up to 19 games. 19 straight games.
And in college baseball, when you're not playing every day, that's a long time. He flares this one in the air on the infield. Looks like Smaldino will make the play in shallow right field, so an easier second out of the inning Overbay can breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief for now. But here's the center fielder, Paul Schoenfeld.
Kelly just got under it. It was similar to his swing in the first inning. Just that first one had a little more power on it to sail into short right field. Just looking to limit the damages, Overbay. Go as long as he can.
Check swing on the first offering. They say he went around for strike number 1. So 2 down. Ionish on first after he walked. But the big story this inning has been Tyrese Hall. Single-handedly contributed to the 3 spot being put up here in the top of the second. 0-1. Off speed is low. Evens up the count.
And despite all the chatter being around West Virginia's pitching being the best in the Big 12, and rightfully so, this offense can swing it too. And they've shown that through 2 innings.
And a wild pitch. Did it hit the top of the foot of Schoenfeld? Certainly looks like it, as Ionish is galloping his way over to second, and the training staff will come out to attend to their center fielder.
I believe on initial look that caught him a little higher up on the right leg, maybe even near that knee, just below it.
Boy, if they clip that shin, that's some painful stuff. Not a lot of padding, regardless of, there's not a lot of padding in baseball, period, even for a catcher. But
and with it being a 95-mile-per-hour fastball.
There are a lot of times where I'm glad I'm a broadcaster, and certainly watching guys wear fastballs.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely one of them.
Especially at this level. I mean, we all played baseball at some point, played in high school, but when you wear 80, it hurts. Imagine mid-90s.
Something I don't want to picture.
Yeah.
Keeps you up at night.
Looks like an arm now throwing for Arizona State in that bullpen. Get a name for you in just a sec, but
looks to be Colby Guy, actually, 37 in black potentially.
I believe you're right, but it
Don't
shows
speculate.
that it shows that you're even at a point, even though it's early, it's in the second, ASU's offense is great. You got to stay attached, because one big crooked number puts you way behind the 8 ball.
It was Gavin Kelly who was, or excuse me, Paul Schoenfeld, who was just kind of walking it off. So runners at first and second. For the designated hitter, Sean Smith, who has an RBI single already this evening. He's got himself a chance to do the same thing here with 2 down. First pitch slapped into shallow right center. That's going to get down. Rounding third and heading to the plate is Einish, and he's in there safely. The throw goes to third. It's offline. Rolling flips to home. They won't get him. And now running to third wildly is Smith, and he is in there. What just happened? Tack on 2 more for the Mountaineers. It's another ridiculous triple. So to try and recap this as best as possible, Smith sent the ball into shallow right center. Longo came up throwing to third. It got away from Austin Rolling. A run had already scored. And then that allowed Schoenfeld to score, so his foot is fine by the looks of it, the way he was motoring around the base paths, but it's 6-1. Now the first pitch to the right fielder, Brock Wills, is away for ball number 1.
And it goes back to the fundamentals of just hitting the cutoff man as an outfielder. You got to play catch.
And that one is fouled back. So 1-1 the count. Boy, ASU's got to get out of this somehow. A 5 spot here in the top of the second from West Virginia. And they've done it the gritty way.
And it's been really good base running and taking advantage of miscues.
1-1, slapped up the middle. Zavorik, the second baseman, on the slide. Throw it to first, not in time. Make it another run. But Brock Wills made that all happen with his legs. the hardest 90 he could give his team, and West Virginia's up 7-1.
And they've now bat all the way around the order. Cohen Nikolai will go back out to calm down Alex Overbay. But this inning has turned into a disaster for the Sun Devils. It started with Overbay not being able to find the strike zone, similar to what we saw in the first inning.
It was a pair of singles, a ground out, or excuse me, not a ground out, a bunt to advance a pair of runners by Armani Guzman. And then a triple from Tyrus Hall that brought in a pair of runs. And then he scored on a wild pitch. From there was a walk, a fly out from Gavin Kelly, a hit by pitch, another triple that brought in 2 more, and then that infield single that brought in the 6th run of the inning. Pickoff play over to first, diving back in safely is Wills.
Well, think about it. It truly does go back to the fundamentals. I mentioned when they got back-to-back singles, you bunt here, you move both of them over, your 9-hole hitter gets a big swing. Great base running, forcing ASU to just make plays, and they haven't.
A second pickoff attempt back to first. Tag applied, but runner is safe in Wills. Pitch count certainly getting up there at 50 on the dot for Overbay. He deals one in the upper third of the strike zone for strike number 1. 2 down. Wills on first. Brody Kresser at the dish for the second time this inning, as you mentioned, Aidan. Now the 0-1 is fouled out of play over the Sun Devil dugout near the concession stands. That'll take a couple of crazy caroms over there to people grabbing snacks and drinks.
If you're looking for positives, there was probably a vision from Willie Bloomquist for Overbay to not go deep into this game. So there's going to be a piggyback guy that's expected to give them length already. It's not a surprise.
Big swing and a miss. Strike 3. High heat 95 gets him down swinging. Finally, Overbay gets out of a nightmare top of the second. 6 runs come aboard. 2 triples from the Mountaineers. RBIs galore, hitting galore, base running galore. The Mountaineers have taken a stranglehold on this ball game going into the bottom half. They lead 7-1. It'll be Smaldino, Longo, and Nikolai due up for Arizona State when we come back here on Blaze.
Clock it!
Tune in to Out of Timeouts at 2 p.m. on Thursdays at blazeradioonline.com. Out of Timeouts is a sports show hosted by Xavier Maserati, Wesley Stomball, and Angus Trangmo. Every week we have 4 segments that are timed and we can't stop the clock. There is, of course, a slight break for halftime in our question of the week. You can also listen on Spotify with new episodes dropping every week on Fridays at 11 a.m. in Arizona. Looks like I'm out of time. Make sure to tune in.
Do you want to stay updated on the world of soccer, or hear Arsenal fans tell you why we're winning the league? Then you need to tune in to Park the Bus on Blaze Radio. Go to blazeradioonline.com at 10:30 every Tuesday morning to hear Alex Swift and Bob Blue, alongside the occasional guest host, talk everything soccer.
Let's go. Aidan O'Neill, 7-1 Mountaineers. Sun Devils looking to answer here. It's Dominic Smaldino to lead off for Arizona State. Boy, I don't know a lot of people who would imagine this scoreline already this early, but here we go from Yale. First pitch is in there for strike number 1. And going into the mind of Yale right now, you're up big. You got a lot of run support. You haven't thrown a ball in a significant amount of time.
Makes it tough. You've been sitting for 30 minutes.
Slapped foul off the backstop. 0-2 the count, I should say.
The big thing, though, Lochlan, is not walking anybody. When you're up big, you attack the zone. You have the best Big 12 defense. You let them play. You put the ball in the zone. You force Arizona State to make contact.
The 0-2 ripped in the air, straight away right field. Wills is under it, and he makes the play with ease. One down here in the bottom of the second. Smaldino's retired. Here's the center fielder, Dominic Longo. Longo, a 250 hitter on the season. 15 RBIs. He's struck out 23 times. He's got 4 extra base hits, 6 home runs as well. Takes one up high. Ball number 1 from Yale.
And it's rare because Dominic Longo, going back to his defensive play in the last half inning, he hadn't made an error all season until that. He's been known for being so solid on that side of the ball. And then the offense has just been a plus wherever you can get it.
Yale able to hit the top of the zone for strike number 1. So aces wild, 1-1, 1 away, bases empty here for the Sun Devils. Down 7-1. That's a hack and a foul over the first base side out of play. You gotta love watching people who are completely oblivious and just walking around the concourse, don't know that there's a foul ball coming over their head.
Well, that's the frustrating thing is at the big league level, they now have to put netting all the way down the lines because people are on their phones. You got the greatest game in the world in front of you. Just look up.
1-2 foul. That's a hot shot. And just as we were talking about netting, boy, that's a prime example of why I think the MLB is putting netting over there, because that thing was at least 80 miles an hour into the seats.
You got to wake up. It's clear that Longo's late on that fastball.
1-2 from Yale. Low for ball 2. Yale last Friday, I should say. 7 innings, 1 earned, 11 strikeouts. That wasn't even his season high either against BYU. Good foul off and a 2-strike count. It'll remain 2-2 with 1 away. Here to the center fielder, Dominic Longo.
And he doesn't walk very many guys. That's what makes him so dominant. Not only is he 6th nationally in ERA, but 44 Ks to just 11 walks.
2-2, swing and a miss. Longo down on strike, 2nd K of the evening already for Yale. 2 down here, bases empty for the Sun Devils. And it's Cohen Nikolai, the catcher, up to bat here. Him and Brody Briggs have been kind of 1A, 1B behind the plate so far this season.
And last year it was Brody Briggs backing up the veteran Josiah Cromwick. So he learned from Crom, now steps into that starting role. But Nikolai has been great, especially with the bat. Very timely hitter.
300 average on the dot as he takes one low for ball number 1. 10 ribbies. K to walk ratio pretty good. He's struck out 8 times. He's walked 7. He's got a pair of home runs as well. Yale's 1-0. Fouled back. He's on time with 83 on the off speed. Evens up the count. Bases empty for Arizona State. They tied things up in the bottom of the first. It's looking really unlikely at this point, based on how this half inning has gone for them, that they're going to tie it up down 6 runs to West Virginia. 1-1 is high for ball 2.
Cromwick coming over from Oregon. Nikolai also the Oregon transfer, so there's that catcher lineage there.
There's a few PNW connections as well with Willie Bloomquist, and we'll get to that later in the broadcast. As the 2-1 just outside for ball 3, shaking his head in an emphatic no motion is Nikolai at the plate. If there's anyone who knows the strike zone, it's certainly the catchers up there. So hitter friendly for the Sun Devil catcher here. 2 down, Nikolai, big swing and a miss at the off speed. You got to think he was looking fastball the entire way, just didn't get it from Max Yale.
That ability to flip over a slider in a hitter's count, invaluable. Makes you so hard to read for those guys in the box.
Payoff pitch 2 away. Good foul back by Nikolai. Just trying to get any kind of base runner here, something going, but Yale has had the answer to this point. 1 pitch away from bringing his team back to the plate. Payoff pitch once again. Swung on and driven high into the air, straight away left field. Going back is Gravlin, he's under it. And he records the 3rd out, so 1, 2, 3, down go the Sun Devils, just like that. And West Virginia will take a 7-1 lead heading into the top of the 3rd. It'll be Gravlin, Guzman, and Hall. 7-8-9 coming up next for West Virginia. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back for more here on Blaze.
Blaze Radio staple shows are back. Tune into Open Mic, Traffic Jam, Press Pass, Bottom of the 6th, and Onward to Victory every weekday from 5 to 7 p.m. to get your fill on the biggest takes and trends going on in music, news, and sports. Make sure to tune in at blazeradioonline.com.
Do you miss fantasy football? Well, don't worry, we do too. But just because it's the off season doesn't mean the fantasy football forecast is dormant.
That's right, Jacob. We've got a lot more to talk about, from free agency and the NFL draft to Dynasty League rankings and so much more.
So make sure to tune in to the Fantasy Football Forecast hosted by myself, Jacob Brooks, alongside Isaac Robertson on Tuesdays from 9 to 10 p.m. on Blaze Radio to get ahead for your fantasy leagues next year.
When I say kettle, you say hot. Kettle.
Hot.
Kettle.
Hot.
When I say every, you say Sunday. Every.
Sunday.
Every.
Sunday.
That's right, folks. Every Sunday from 5 to 6 p.m. on blazeradioonline.com. Tune into the Kettle Hut with Nathan Kettle as the host with a special guest each and every week, talking all things sports, including their favorite sports teams, how their seasons are going, and what the future holds, along with a specialty draft of the guest's choosing where they decide, and we have some fun every Sunday on blazeradioonline.com.
Welcome back, top of the 3rd here at Phoenix Municipal. Mountaineers back at the dish as Overbay back on the hill. And first pitch is put into play. Zavorik right side records the out at first. 1 pitch, 1 away here to begin the top of the 3rd. That was Matthew Gravlin at the dish. Didn't even get a chance to introduce him for his second AB, but just like that, he's retired. 1 down.
Willie Bloomquist sending Alex Overbay back out there for another inning of work. He's looking to get some more length out of his starter to ultimately then go to the bridge guy. Still some stirring in that Sun Devil bullpen. Looks like maybe another arm getting loose.
And now first pitch, Guzman drills this down the left field line. He'll extend this into a double. Hairston having trouble with it in the corner. They hit the cutoff man finally, but it's a stand-up 1-out double for Armani Guzman. He's 1 for 2 now on the evening.
Well, last night the story for Arizona State in their ability to put up 14 runs was production 1 through 9 in the lineup. Everybody got going, and that's been West Virginia. Double there by Armani Guzman. The big swing tonight was the 2 RBI triple from the man up now.
That's the third baseman, Tyrus Hall. Takes one high for ball number 1 from Overbay. And Hall's favorite player, he's listed as Manny Ramirez. And the interesting thing there is Ramirez's kids actually played with the Harbor Cats for a couple summers with Tyrus Hall.
How about that?
1-0 on the way, just outside. And there's a video on the Harbor Cats socials as well a couple summers ago of Ramirez decked out, full head-to-toe Harbor Cats gear, taking BP with the boys too. And gotta say, it was some pretty smooth stuff from the XMLBer. 2-0 is low. Overbay can't find it here in this AB.
Well, it doesn't matter what shape you're in after your playing career. You still got it, always. And you wonder if Tyrus Hall got some tips maybe in BP, and he said, I really like this guy. You're now my favorite player.
Whatever tips he got, he certainly put them to good use. His pickoff attempt back to second. Getting there is Guzman in plenty of time. Not really a hard throw back there from Overbay, more of just a keep him at bay, try to hold him a reasonable distance away from the bag, not get too big of a secondary lead. 3-0 to Hall. Guzman going on the pitch, and it's inside for ball 4. Guzman swipes third with ease, not even a throw. So out comes Willie Bloomquist, and it looks like this will be the end of Alex Overbay's evening. So 2 1/3, 7 runs given up on 9 hits as well. West Virginia has gotten to him effectively here this evening, so make that 2 straight starts where he's gotten roughed up in a ball game for Arizona State. Sun Devils will go to a new man out of the bullpen, and we will take a quick break. You're listening to West Virginia against Arizona State here at Phoenix Municipal on a Saturday night on Blaze Radio.
Have you ever had deep conversations with your friends before? Like the ones that leave you learning something completely new that you never thought of before? Well, there's a show for that right here on Blaze Radio. On Let's Have a Conversation, host Rome Cady introduces you to a new guest each week and has fun yet real conversations with them. Whether it's sports, music, or pop culture, anything goes. So come kick your feet up and relax after a long week and tune in to BlazeRadioOnline.com every Friday from 4:30 to 5 p.m. Arizona time for an interesting conversation each week. That's BlazeRadioOnline.com.
Forks up, Sun Devils. Join me, Chris Town, as I scour the entirety of ASU to find the heroes who do it all. The unsung who brave the challenges to make our university at the top. Let's bring the spotlight to those who do the most and see how they do it all. Join me for the Unsung Heroes of ASU, live every Thursday at 3 p.m. only on Blaze Radio.
You know, Timber, I'm glad we're both on the same page. We love fangirling.
Me too, Jazz. That's why we made a whole show about it.
The Fangirl Forum is back and better than ever.
Join us every Sunday at 1:30 p.m. on Blaze Radio to hear the rundown on all our favorite shows, movies, books, and more.
Tune in at BlazeRadioOnline.com.
Channel your inner fangirl.
Welcome back to Anime Only, the only anime podcast in the West. It's your one-stop shop for manga and anime discussion. With Blake Masterson, Gideon Hendricks, and Nicholas Kittleson, tune in every Friday, 3:30 to 4:30. Hear us debate, decide, and defend your best and worst anime takes. Listen at BlazeRadioOnline.com.
I think it's time to blow this thing. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
We're back here at Phoenix Municipal, 1 down in the top of the 3rd as Jaden Alba is the first man out of the bullpen this evening for Arizona State. Alex Overbay's evening so far is done, and Alba takes over. And Aidan, we were talking a little bit during that break, and Alba made 8 starts last year. He started a game already this year. This could potentially be a feature of what's possibly to come on Saturdays. So face the top of the order. The Ionish, and right away a double steal throw down to second, not in time. And Armani Guzman, that's the oldest trick in the book there. You see that at the high school level. Tyrus Hall takes second. Guzman trots home with ease from third, and it's 8-1.
The only time with runners on first and third that a throw down to second is acceptable on a steal, Lochlan, is if there's 2 outs. Because if you throw them out, then that run doesn't even matter if it scores. That made no sense from Cohen Nikolai to throw it down, and it cost them a run.
Smart base running once again as Ionish, ball was almost behind him there in the dirt, blocked effectively by Nikolai. Last year, Jaden Alba, 5.58 ERA, 11 appearances, 8 of those starts, 40 1/3 innings pitched. This year, 14 2/3. He's given up 19 hits in that time. He's got an 8.59 ERA. Swung on the ground. Zavorik at second. Shifting to his left, throw on to first in time, 2 down. So Ionish is retired for the first time this evening. They finally get that monkey off their back at the top of the order. So now 2 down for Gavin Kelly. It was 1 for 2 this evening. Got a single and a flyout. And Ty Hall as well on that play, moved over to third, so he's 90 feet closer from scoring once again for the second time tonight. First pitch of the at-bat from Alba is in there for strike number 1. Kelly getting the start behind the plate tonight. He's another guy that's been in rotation. He's played second base, right field as well. He's been kind of sprinkled all around. I believe they started him in center one time.
That's just ultra impressive for a guy that can catch. You never see that.
That's some high school stuff right there.
Right.
Just a guy playing everywhere. So we were saying that Alba yanked one in the dirt, so it's 1-1. Again, Tyrus Hall, the only man on base. He's on third for West Virginia. 8 runs on 9 hits to this point in the top of the third. 1-1 yanked in the dirt again. That's the third pitch he's skipped. He's made Nikolai work a little bit on his knees.
It's been a struggle so far for Jaden Alba this season. He had a good 24-25 campaign where had just a 5.58 ERA and a 40 and a third, but that's ballooned up to almost 9 this season.
2-1 hefty hack and a miss at 93 down the heart of the plate from Kelly. Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the third. Schoenfeld on deck, the center fielder, if it gets that far. Alba hoping he can retire his man to the dish with 1 pitch. Here's the 2-2. Rip down the line, slicing well, foul out of play. Boy, a lot of the structures here at Muni are solid concrete or brick and mortar, and that's exactly why. Those foul balls are just flying out of play with some significant pace.
Oh yeah, even the glass windows, you'd imagine, can withstand a baseball, because if they couldn't, be a lot of frequent repairs.
Got an issue on your hand. 2-2 outside. Alba's got an issue on his hand here as he might walk Gavin Kelly. He's in a full count right now. Again, Ty Hall, the lone man, on third base. Mountaineers, 8 runs on 9 hits to this point. They had 13 last night. Here's Alba's full count offering. In the dirt, check swing, he didn't go around. So runners are on the corners now. That's a walk. Kelly's on base for the second time in his third trip to the plate.
The story in a nutshell has been not only free passes. Arizona State's given up 3 in total, 2 walks and a hit by pitch. But it's been not getting in the count early. Alba too, similar to Overbay. Can't find it early in counts. What does that allow hitters to do? Sit on that fastball. Look 1 pitch, 1 spot. Punish mistakes. That's why they have 8 runs.
Another first pitch ball there. 1-0 the count to Schoenfeld. And another thing that not pounding the zone and getting ahead early does is it skyrockets the blood pressure of your pitching coach, which you don't necessarily love.
Oh, Jeremy Accardo down there is sweating bullets for sure, because you got a game tomorrow. You need pitching for that too. Even if you drop game 2, so be it. Grudge match on Sunday. But you need arms.
Alba's 1-0. Hefty hack and a miss at the fastball there for strike number 1. Schoenfeld, he's 0 for 1. He's got a fly out to left field. That was in his first at-bat. Then he got hit by a pitch and ended up coming around to score off that triple from Ty Hall. Or no, check that. It was the triple from Sean Smith. Pickoff attempt back to first base. Kelly dives in safely. No tag applied by Smaldino over there.
They're playing Schoenfeld deep in the hole. Overshift for the lefty, so Zavorik's in shallow right.
He's right on that grass collar over there by the dirt as the 1-1 is in there. Good off speed, down and in at the knees for strike number 2. So again, similar to the last at-bat, he had a 1-2 count, pushed it to 2-2, then to full, then he lost his man on the base paths. Alba trying to complete the K and get out of this inning for Arizona State. Here's the righties 1-2. Good off-speed in the dirt, but started a little low. Good check swing, good take from Schoenfeld. Pushes the count even.
You tip your cap to Schoenfeld on that take. It had a lot of late break, that slider with a ton of vertical movement, which is kind of unique, but a great eye.
2-2 from Alba. Ripped into shallow center and diving to make a catch is Dominic Longo. He was unsure at first. He backed off, but then he took a couple hard strides in and a big leap in front of him, and he got the leather on that baseball. That'll end the top of the third, but West Virginia staying pesky. They add another run. They're up 8-1 here on Arizona State. They've got full control of this ball game. It'll be Beckett Zvorek, Landon Hairston, and PJ Mutsaridis. 9-1-2, looking to get things going for Arizona State when we come back next here on Blaze.
Blaze Radio needs your support. If you want to donate to help Blaze Radio, go to blazeradioonline.com and click on the orange box in the top left-hand corner that says Support Blaze Radio, and make a donation today to help ASU's student radio station reach the next level.
Do you want to stay updated on the world of soccer, or hear Arsenal fans tell you why we're winning the league? Then you need to tune in to Park the Bus on Blaze Radio. Go to blazeradioonline.com at 10:30 every Tuesday morning to hear Alex Swift and Bob Blue, alongside the occasional guest host, talk everything soccer.
Blaze Radio staple shows are back. Tune into Open Mic, Traffic Jam, Press Pass, Bottom of the Sixth, and Onward to Victory every weekday from 5 to 7 p.m. to get your fill on the biggest takes and trends going on in music, news, and sports. Make sure to tune in at blazeradioonline.com.
Welcome back to Phoenix Municipal Stadium, bottom of the third. He's Aidan O'Neill. I'm Lochlan McTeague with you on Blaze Sports' YouTube. Max Yale, the left-hander, back on the mound here, facing 9-1-2. Here's Beckett Zvorek, the second baseman. He's been busy defensively so far, but West Virginia's on their third time through the order. This is Zvorek's first AB as he takes a strike to begin his at-bat. Zvorek slaps this foul over the Sun Devil dugout into the seats. Quickly in an 0-2 hole.
The other side of the pitching, in Max Yale, he's attacking the zone. He doesn't walk guys. And it helps a ton when you have 7 runs of support, but it's been a theme from the big lefty all year.
And the 0-2 is slapped into shallow center. That's going to get down. That's just what the Sun Devils needed, their third hit of the night. Zvorek's on base to begin the bottom of the third.
We mentioned spark plugs. Beckett Zvorek defines what a spark plug is. Batting in the 9 spot. He's stolen 4 bags on the year. He's short. He's twitchy. He provides a lot on defense. Setting the table now for Landon Hairston. He can get things going.
So far, he's been the Mountaineers' kryptonite. Lefty-lefty. First pitch to Hairston inside, ball number 1. Get this, an OPS 1541. He's got a 579 batting average with runners in scoring position as well. 475 on the season. Just ridiculous stuff. So he takes another one high for ball 2. I'm not sure if I played the show. If I did a road to the show, I don't know if I could put up those numbers on the PlayStation.
No, they're truly a video game. And to know that you're watching a future top 10 pick is pretty crazy.
2-0. Comfortable take from Hairston. Bit of a prove-it, take-it felt there from the left-handed hitter.
But what's always stood out to me since he stepped foot in Tempe and being the Arizona native, he's so calm, beyond his years.
2-1, good take. It's low in the dirt. They appeal down to the third base umpire. Says he did not go around, and I'd mostly agree with that call there. 3-1 the count to Hairston. One thing Willie Bloomquist said was some of the veterans last year were getting on him about not hitting the long ball, and Willie was like, guys, just let him be, and boy, good thing they did. 3-1 to Hairston in the air, straight away center. Going back is Schoenfeld to the track, and it doesn't have enough for a home run. So Hairston gave it a pretty good ride to the deepest part of the ballpark. Schoenfeld makes the play out there in center. One down here in the bottom of the third, and that'll bring up BJ Moutsouridis, the shortstop, with Rolig on deck.
He just missed that one. Straightaway center field, good barrel, got his hands to it. Not a lot of help tonight in center field with the wind. Both flags quite limp. But everything right now, hard contact. He's seeing a beach ball.
Ground ball right side. Kressler to second for one, throw back to first in time. 4-6-3, what a double play. And the Mountaineers suck the life out of Phoenix Municipal. We're a third of the way through this ball game. West Virginia in complete control. They lead 8-1.
Hi everyone, this is Bella.
And I'm Landon.
Welcome to Album Splain.
Each week, we dissect one album and give our listeners some brand new music news.
There's always laughter and a good time on our show.
Listen as we talk about some of our favorite artists like Pink Panthers and Stevie Nicks, while also talking about what's going on in our lives.
Tune in on Tuesdays at 7 a.m. every week on blazeradioonline.com or on your favorite podcast streaming service.
Check out our social media channels at @AlbumSplain to learn more.
Toodles.
Toodaloo.
Introducing Minor League's major show, Up on Deck. As I'm your host, Tyler Wargo, going to give you guys the insights and the analysis on prospects that surround the minor leagues and even rating and ranking ballparks that surround the minor leagues. This is Blaze Radio's longest running show dating back to January of 2022. We hope to see you guys tuning in every Sunday from 6 to 7 p.m. on blazeradioonline.com.
Clark, step back three. You bet. Hall lets it fly.
Hey, it's Lauren.
And I'm Kinla. We're two sports journalism majors who basically grew up on the field, the court, and in the stands.
Welcome to The Athlete Era, your weekly dose of women's sports and what it's really like to live life as 20-year-old girls in the sporting world.
From buzzer beaters and rivalries to our own behind-the-scenes stories, we bring you takes you won't hear anywhere else. Catch Athlete Era every Sunday from 4 to 5.
Right here on Blaze Radio.
Tune in and join the era.
Welcome back. Middle third of the ball game underway here at Phoenix Municipal. And if you're just joining us, he's Aidan O'Neill. I'm Lochlan McTeague. Here on Blaze Sports YouTube, it's been all Mountaineers. 9 hits to 3 in favor of West Virginia, and 8-1 on the scoreboard now here in the top of the fourth. Heart of the order coming up. It's the four hitter, the DH Sean Smith, to lead off for West Virginia. Jaden Alba still on the mound. Pitch outside. Call the ball. Check swing at that from Smith. Good take from the DH. Close call. I wonder if ABS was in play here, if anyone would be challenging that.
I was thinking that earlier.
You know, they say great minds think alike.
And we're great minds.
So that 1-0 is fouled off the netting behind home plate. Springs back into play. 1-1 the count.
Obviously, in college baseball, with how many teams there are, I don't believe that there's enough technology to go around to get it in every single ballpark. But it does make you wonder with how it's already been effective at the MLB level.
1-1 is chopped over to the Mountaineer dugout and foul. I agree. I know some of the pitfalls of some summer leagues is trying to get the technology in every single ballpark, because some are way older than others and have different crazy setups. And that enough is a big enough hurdle, and that's like 10 to 20 teams per league. The 1-2 skipped in the dirt from Alba. Boy, that's been an issue from him so far tonight. With Alex Overbay, it was more so losing his command early in counts, but Alba altogether has just been yanking the ball in the dirt quite a few times here.
There's two sides of it. It's getting behind at the beginning of counts, but then when you're ahead, how do you put guys away? And Alba hasn't been able to do that.
2-2 outside corner, and he rings him up. Strike 3. Sean Smith goes down looking for out number 1 here in the top of the 4th.
All it takes is for the broadcaster to say something. That's how it is. Great pitch. Painting the fastball in the outside corner. Got Sean Smith without attempting a swing.
So a big first out here is, I believe this is the first inning where the leadoff man hasn't gotten on base. I have to check my scorecard. But regardless of how correct that stat is, West Virginia's done a terrific job as that one from Alba misses low, ball number 1. This is Brock Wills, the right fielder. Grounded into a 4-6-3 double play that was challenged. He was supposed to be safe, but the slide from his teammate was called as interference. Wills watches another one go at his feet, ball 2. He had an RBI single in his last at-bat as well, this being his 3rd trip to the plate tonight.
And credit, too, to Steve Savins and this staff, because you look up and down this roster. We mentioned Arizona State being loaded with transfers. West Virginia is, too, and a lot of them are from these small, obscure schools.
Inside ball 3, and it just goes to show the plug-and-play ability of this program, and there's a certain kind of cut from a certain cloth player they're looking for, and you know, you see a Div 2 guy dominate, and then he's maybe okay at a mid-major the next season for Division 1, but to then hit 450? I mean, that's absurd. A 3-0 is in there from Alba, however. I mean, it just goes to show this is a team that's coming off back-to-back super regionals, 3 straight regional appearances as well, all the while having a coaching change. 3-1 ripped up the middle right at the shortstop, Moutsaritas, flashing some leather for out number 2.
That was one of the hardest hit balls I've seen in my life. Scolded. It caught Moutsaritas. It caught him. Love to see the exit velocity number on that.
Almost seemed to spawn in his glove.
Truthfully.
Imagine how Alba's feeling. Nice rush of adrenaline. You got a ball whizzing by your face.
You can hear it.
No worse for wear. So here's Brody Kresser, the second baseman. Takes first pitch low. 1 run in the top of the first, 6 in the top of the second, 1 in the top of the third for West Virginia. The lone run of the ballgame for Arizona State came in the bottom half, courtesy of Landon Hairston. And the 1-0 is in there for a strike. West Virginia's gotten really creative with how they've scored runs as well. Some great base running, capitalizing off of throwing errors, fielding errors from Arizona State as well. Been very pesky at the plate. It's all culminated here in a 7-run lead. Now the 1-1 from Alba. Slapped weakly in the air over the Sun Devil dugout and out of play, and a fan cannot make the grab.
The intriguing thing to me, Lochlan, is when you see 8 runs on the scoreboard, you think that they're just bopping and ton of extra base hits, but they've only had 2.
That's not West Virginia's MO as well.
Just putting the ball in play, forcing Arizona State to make plays, and going station to station.
Alba potentially 1 pitch away, 1-2. Ripped in the air weakly, shallow right field. Running on is Toigo, and he makes the play. So finally a 1-2-3 inning the Sun Devils and Jaden Alba needed, and they finally hold the Mountaineers off the score sheet. They go scoreless in the top of the 4th, bottom half. Coming up, it'll be Moutsaritas, Rolig, and New Contradas for Arizona State. Heart of the order coming up, trying to cut into this Mountaineer lead when we come back here on Blaze.
Do you want news about the Big 12? Do you want analysis on every football game? Do you want coverage on sports like lacrosse and beach volleyball? Well, guess what? You're in for a treat. Introducing Big 12 at 12 with your host, me, Dimitri Kurlik. It's the show for Big 12 sports and Big 12 sports only. Make sure to tune in every Wednesday for analysis and breakdown of every Big 12 game from 12 p.m. to 12:30, only on Blaze Radio.
Introducing Minor League's major show, Up on Deck. As I'm your host, Tyler Wargo, going to give you guys the insights and the analysis on prospects that surround the minor leagues and even rating and ranking ballparks that surround the minor leagues. This is Blaze Radio's longest running show dating back to January of 2022. We hope to see you guys tuning in every Sunday from 6 to 7 p.m. on BlazeRadioOnline.com.
So finally, the Sun Devils get West Virginia to go down scoreless, and they got a chance to cut into this lead here in the bottom of the fourth. He's Aidan O'Neill. I'm Lochlan McTeague here on the Blaze Sports YouTube channel. 17th ranked Mountaineers cruising so far against the 22 ranked Sun Devils. So here is Austin Rolig, third baseman in the 3-hole. 3-4-5 due up for Arizona State. Contrada's on deck, Dean Toigo in the hole. Trying to put something together here in the bottom of the fourth, down 7.
Starts with just trying to get that leadoff guy on base. Starts with Rolig right here. They haven't got to Max Vale at all.
First pitch down and in for ball number 1 from Yale.
It was just a minor blemish in the first, and that was all Landon Hairston.
It's just a first pitch double from Hairston that didn't necessarily look like a double. He just decided he was going to take 2 bases. Good comeback pitch there to even up the count at 1 apiece to Rolig. Rolig was the first strikeout victim of the night for Max Yale. And looking at his stat line, I mean, you look at the teams he's faced: Georgia Southern, Liberty, Kennesaw State, Columbia. As Rolig in the air, straightaway left field. Moving to his left is Gravelin, and he makes the play in left center. 1 down here. Rolig is retired. Here's New Contradas. Back to my point earlier, the argument was, well, he hasn't really pitched against anybody. Well, in the Big 12 so far, he went 8 scoreless against Baylor, striking out 12, giving up just 3 hits, and then he followed that up a week later against BYU, going 7 innings, 1 earned, 11 Ks, 5 hits. So he's on a heater. First pitch away to the right-handed hitting DH tonight, New Contradas. And it's even more impressive for Arizona State, the numbers they're putting up without arguably coming into the year, probably their team MVP. Contradas takes a strike on the outside corner. He's been a staple in this program, although he's dealt with injuries. It's great that Willie Bloomquist has been able to get him to come back year over year and really develop as a player. And Contradas puts a good swing on this ball, the straightaway center, but Schoenfeld is there on the track and makes a good play. Tracks it down with efficiency as now Contradas and Hairston have sent balls to the deepest part of the park, but not over the fence.
Once again, you think different night, more help to center field? Are those warning track flyouts turned into home runs?
I mean, you don't need much more help here at Muni because you're already in warm air, a warm climate. It's been so hot in Arizona as well. So here's Dean Toigo, the right fielder. Lefty-lefty matchup. He's late on that first pitch and flares it out of play over the right field line. Foul for strike number 1. Toigo hitting .313. He flew out to left field in his first trip to the plate. Again, same as his first AB, infield shifting him towards his pull side. Toigo slaps this left side, long run for Ionish, and it gets through the hole. So another almost a reverse broadcaster jinx there as Toigo beats the shift through that left side. It was too long of a run for Ionish, and fair enough, the Sun Devils have a 2-out base knock.
Well, it's always amazing to see when a guy just flat out beats the shift. They're playing him to the right side. They're daring him essentially, to hit it to where the shortstop isn't. And he just chops one over there. Free knock.
Very Mountaineer-esque. We've seen a lot of that from them tonight. But here's the first baseman, Dominic Smaldino. Smaldino takes one up high for ball number 1.
And yes, a 7-run deficit is daunting. But when you look up there and it's only the bottom of the 4th, especially knowing how good this Sun Devil offense is, the mentality from Willie and company has to be, let's just chip away. Let's get one back here in the 4th. Let's continue to stack good at-bats, good innings. And then you look up at the scoreboard in the latter innings, latter stages. Could be a couple-run game.
And these are some guys as well who maybe have to change their approach and play some small ball. Obviously, Toigo can hit the long ball with the best of them, and so can Smaldino. I mean, back in Arlington against Mississippi State, he hit one 480 feet. Longest home run recorded at Arizona State since 2019. A 1-0. Foul back off the netting behind home plate.
It's been an awesome journey for Dom Smaldino. I saw him freshman year summer. He played on the Santa Barbara Foresters. I worked for them. Got a good look. And that was before he really took that next step.
Yale's 1-1. High heat gets Smaldino to wave and miss there. Ball and 2 strikes the count with Toigo on first. 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th.
It really was last year and this last summer where he led the Northwoods League in homers, where he's taken that turn.
1-2. Appeal over to first, check swing. They say he did not go around. 2-2 the count. And again, I know you and I are obviously big summer ball guys. I worked summer ball for 2 summers, going back for a 3rd. And it's a really good place for guys to develop and find themselves in heading back into their season, especially if you're moving schools. Yale's 2-2 on the ground to 3rd. Play made by Hall. They flipped to 2nd for the putout. And that will do it for the bottom of the 4th. 3 straight scoreless innings from Yale. He is absolutely cruising here tonight in Phoenix. 8-1 the score through 4 innings at Muni. We'll be back for the top of the 5th next on Blaze.
It's official. Blaze Radio has once again been voted as the top streaming radio station in the country by Intercollegiate Broadcasting System. Blaze Radio continues to be the standard when it comes to college student radio and is honored to once again receive this incredible award. We could not do what we do without you, so we thank you for listening to Blaze Radio, BlazeRadioOnline.com.
Forks Up Sun Devils. Join me, Chris Town, as I scour the entirety of ASU to find the heroes who do it all. The unsung who brave the challenges to make our university at the top. Let's bring the spotlight to those who do the most and see how they do it all. Join me for the Unsung Heroes of ASU, live every Thursday at 3 p.m. only on Blaze Radio.
Top of the 5th, ready to go here at Phoenix Municipal. Jaden Alba once again on the mound and due up for West Virginia. It's Brody Kresser, Matthew Gravelin, Armani Guzman, and Tyrese Hall, 7, 8, 9 in the order. And with more on one of those guys, Guzman, here's the 3rd member of our team, Jordan Talley.
Thank you, Lochlan. Armani Guzman has been sneaky fast for West Virginia tonight with 2 stolen bases. The junior utility player has 1 stolen base, 2 stolen bases, one of those being home, and he was 2nd on the team in stolen bases his freshman year at West Virginia, as long with the sophomore year, and currently leads this season with a 100% success rate with 14 stolen bases on the season so far as we get into the top of the 5th inning here as he's due up. Thank you, Lochlan.
Thank you for that, Jordan. And West Virginia was known at one point of being one of the fastest teams in the country. That was from about 2018 to 2021. They haven't kept up that pace, but still they're very pesky on the base pass, and that's been evident tonight. First pitch on the way to Gravelin, taken for strike number 1.
Well, to Jordan's point, them blazing on the base paths has been one of the main reasons for success, and Guzman's been at the forefront of that.
Now the 0-1 at the knees, a little low, says the home plate umpire. Count even at 1 apiece. 75 on the radar gun from Alba as well. His next pitch will be his 30th out of the bullpen. 1-1, hefty hack and a miss from the left fielder, who's 1 for 2 tonight. Finds himself in a 2-strike count here. No outs, nobody on for the Mountaineers here in the top of the 5th with a comfortable 8-1 lead.
In particular in college, you're going to get a lot more long relievers because everybody wants to be a starter. And that gives you flexibility in a game like this.
That's a ball in the seats behind us or in front of us now. Looked like it was going to hit the roof, but again, that's one of those balls with a trajectory. Correct angle, correct exit velo. Goes behind, it can get over the net and into the crowd behind home plate. So everyone's got to be alert and not on their phones, as we've mentioned before. Ball and 2 strikes to Gravelin. Pitch from Alba up and in, lookout. Buzz the tower.
And Alba, too, was big part of Willie Bloomquist's plan and Accardo's last year in the starting rotation. And then he got banged up with injuries, got set back. That allowed for other guys to jump in the mix like an Easton Barrett. So now he's trying to work back in, and performances like this can do that.
2-2 chopped on the ground, up the middle, snagged by Alba, flips to first with ease. That gets the crowd cheering. What a play from the pitcher. It's the old G1, out number 1 here in the top of the 5th.
Just instinctively reacting to a chopper to his glove side. Picks it up head high. And
it was a high chopper, too. Could have easily gotten over his head. He's not necessarily known for his fielding skills either, so anytime you get that from your pitcher, it's always a plus. Would have been a tough play for either Mutsaritas or Zavorik behind him. Here's Guzman. Takes one in the dirt for ball number 1. Again, Jordan mentioned he leads the team in stolen bases as well. He's got 2 tonight, 14 for 14 on the season. Doubled in his last AB. One of 3 extra base hits tonight out of the 9 in total for West Virginia. Boy, Alba's been good so far as West Virginia through the first 2 2/3 was on a rampant pace. Already with 9 hits, you think, shoot, could they get to 20 tonight? Slowing a little bit now as Alba misses in the dirt with ball number 2. 2-1 the count, 1 away, nobody on for the Mountaineers.
The ASU pitching has settled down the back end of Overbay's appearance, Jaden Alba, but the reason they're not making up any ground is because Max Yale on the other side has been nails.
He's been as advertised tonight. So the 2-1 is chopped near the Sun Devil dugout. Hit the netting above the heads of some players over there on the top step. Nobody gets hurt. Everybody's okay. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Guzman. Tyrus Hall is on deck as well. He's been pesky on the base paths. 2-2 on the way from Jaden Alba. Foul tip. Looked like that went off the home plate umpire's mask a little bit as well. He seems to be okay. So the wind has really calmed down here tonight in Tempe, or in Phoenix, I should say. We're right on the border. Bet if we walked a couple hundred feet, we'd officially be back in Tempe, but
yeah,
Phoenix Municipal Stadium, the official name, so got to keep it professional. 2-2 from Alba. Big swing and miss at the curveball, strike 3. Down goes Guzman for the second out here of the top of the 5th. Bottom of the order now with Tyrese Hall.
Great job by Jaden Alba keeping Guzman on his front foot. Flipped in that breaking ball, and a quick 2 outs. Make that 6 straight retired for Jaden Alba.
Yeah, don't look now. So here's Hall, 3rd trip to the plate. Got a pair of RBIs tonight. Takes one high for ball number 1. It was an RBI triple that drove in a pair of runs, and then he walked last time. now is inside. Hall now getting his batting average up to 318. Just 2 weeks ago, it was in the 240s. So he's had himself a good couple of weekends and been playing some good baseball. And even when he was batting in the mid-twos, he was still an everyday third baseman. Shows you how much they trust him in the field. 2-0, check swing, outside corner, called a strike anyway. 2-1 the count with 2 away.
Now hits in 5 of his last 6 games. He's been on a tear at the end of March. And we mentioned guys coming from all different places for West Virginia. He's got the most obscure story. Bossier Parish Community College in Louisiana. Transferred over.
As he rips this ball in the air to deep right field, going back is Toigo to the track, and he almost touches the wall. 7 in a row retired for Jaden Alba. Ty Hall gave it a pretty good ride to right center, but Toigo is there to make the play. Back-to-back scoreless frames put up by Alba and the Sun Devils as they try to cut into this lead in the bottom of the 5th. That'll be all for me. Aidan O'Neill take over when we come back. Mountaineers 8, Sun Devils 1 here on Blaze.
Welcome into the College Carousel. We unpack the latest in college sports from basketball to football to softball and more. Join your hosts Anthony Sakuman, Memphis Coles, and Annie Wingert every Tuesday at 4 p.m. streaming on blazeradio.com so we can spin you around the College Carousel.
Do you want to stay updated on the world of soccer, or hear Arsenal fans tell you why we're winning the league? Then you need to tune in to Park the Bus on Blaze Radio. Go to blazeradioonline.com at 10:30 every Tuesday morning to hear Alex Swift and Bob Blue, alongside the occasional guest host, talk everything soccer.
Forks up, Sun Devils. Jordan, Christown, as I scour the entirety of ASU to find the heroes who do it all. The unsung who brave the challenges to make our university at the top. Let's bring the spotlight to those who do the most and see how they do it all. Join me for the unsung heroes of ASU, live every Thursday at 3 p.m. only on Blaze Radio.
Back here at Phoenix Municipal Stadium, Saturday Night Baseball, ranked matchup, Aidan O'Neill, Lochlan, McTeague for you on Blaze Radio. Been quite one-sided thus far. 8-1 Mountaineers as we start the bottom of the 5th inning. 7-8-9 due up for Arizona State. Digging in from the right side is Dominic Longo. Pitch, fastball misses in tight, 1-0. Max Yale has been the story for the Mountaineers. The southpaw, 4 innings pitched. Only 1 run, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. The 1-0. Breaking ball, called a strike. That's that slider right at the knees. Some unhappy customers didn't like that one at Muni.
Especially to righties, he's been really working that back door, and that's such an effective pitch if it starts almost in the other batter's box and clips the plate.
1-1 fastball, called a strike at the knees. That one at 90. Velo usually for Yale, low to mid-9s, but it's been a little lower today. He's still been equally as effective, though.
He's been picking his spots with ease. It's been effortless for him so far.
1-2 breaking ball just high. Good take from Dominic Longo. First time through for Longo back in the 2nd. He struck out swinging.
And I love that sequence there. A backdoor slider, a fastball chest high inside corner, and then just try and drop a breaking ball top of the zone.
2-2, slider misses down, count runs full.
And you can see with these sequences as well, right? He goes right back to that slider. He's not going to go fastball in that 2-2 count. He's going to challenge him and try to get him to swing over top of it. You can just tell he's having so much fun with his sequencing.
You'd expect a challenge here. 3-2. Fastball chopped foul up the third base line. Kicks by the ball boy off that tarp.
It was at 86, so maybe he took something off of it. Maybe he went to more of a changeup there, but regardless, I think Longo was sitting fastball, and he was really early on it. Now the mind games start, right? You're early on one pitch. Does he go back to the off speed? Does he try and blow 92 by you? Who knows?
Long at bat to open up this fifth. Breaking ball, lined foul. Watch out down there in that ASU student section. We'll do it again. That one at 84, so it looks like the fastball out of the hand. You wonder if Yale's featuring maybe a cutter.
Cutter, two-seam, any kind of running fastball.
Or it's the slider that just not taking that much velocity off the heater. Long AB continues. 3-2. Fastball chopped off himself in the box. So we'll do it again.
He's definitely got something else up his sleeve there because it looks fastball out of the hand at 84, but that was absolutely a firm fastball at 93, and he was mostly on time. Longo was lucky to even make contact.
Pitch number 8 of the at-bat coming up. Defense playing Longo straight up. Here it is. Runs in tight and hits Longo. Looked like it got him on the elbow guard. And the Sun Devils have a leadoff base runner in the 5th.
They need that, although you don't love getting beamed with a 90-plus mile-an-hour pitch. For those who've been listening throughout, you've heard Aidan and I's opinions on getting hit with baseballs. Spoiler alert, it's not a good one. But now you just try and, you pass the baton now, and ASU's been in this situation before, but again, good West Virginia defense and effective pitching by Yale has gotten his team out of trouble so far.
Runner on first, no outs for Cohen Nikolai. First pitch fastball fouled straight back.
This could be a big turning point moment here if the bottom of the order can turn things over and get Moutsouridis, get Hairston back up to the plate with runners in scoring position. Willie Bloomquist has talked about the need for production 1 through 9.
Throw over to first, nothing doing. Longo back with ease.
So, I mean, if sports is a copycat enterprise, and if you're gonna try and get back in this game, why not try and just pass the baton like West Virginia's been doing all night?
Pitch home. Fastball check swing at the top of the zone. It's called a strike on location. Nikolai doesn't agree. Now 0-2. Nikolai is first time through in the 2nd. Blew out to left field. Backup catcher to Brody Briggs getting a start on a Saturday night. Throw over to first. Longo back stand-in. And the boos will echo throughout.
Certainly a bit of a restless crowd now at Phoenix Municipal tonight after that 14-run outing last night. The Landon Hairston show.
The 0-2. Got him swinging. So went back to that slider at 83 at the bottom of the zone. Nikolai's retire, 1 gone.
Just his 3rd K as well for a guy that has had double-digit strikeouts in his last 2 outings in 7+ inning performances, I should say. The Sun Devils have been really patient with him tonight, but it hasn't been good enough. And they've been patient, they've been waiting, but they haven't been able to drive baseballs like they usually do.
Now Beckett Zavorik, fastball misses up top. Zavorik is first time through, base hit right back where it came from. That's one of 4 hits tonight for ASU. And despite the offensive struggles, they've gotten a leadoff runner on in 3 of the 5 innings. 1-0 fastball runs in tight, 2-0.
Usually you look at those numbers, and in college baseball, you figure a good portion of the time you get your leadoff man on via either a single or a walk, there's a good chance you're scoring a run.
2-0. Squares to bunt, pulls it back, and takes a strike at the base of the zone.
I think as well, a common denominator for the hits for Arizona State is being aggressive early in counts. I think Yale's served up a lot of really hittable pitches early in counts, and the Sun Devils have taken advantage when they've swung the bat.
2-1 slider misses low. And Yale, he's been amazing at attacking the strike zone. No walks thus far, but in the at-bat to Longo, and now this one to Zavorik, getting behind. Hitters count for the 9-hole man. 3-1 pitch. Fastball skied into right center field. Tracking over there is the right fielder in Wills, and he'll make the catch. 2 outs.
Again, just missed there, it felt like, from Zavorik. Been a couple times where the ball's just hung up in the air a little bit too long for ASU. They put in some decent swings on it, but they're just popping it up a little bit, getting under those off-speed pitches especially. And I know he's been challenging with that pretty firm fastball, and when he's got an off-speed that works the way it does, that fastball doesn't feel like 93. It feels like probably more like 98 to the hitters.
Now the star of the show, Landon Hairston, who takes a fastball outside on the first pitch of his at-bat. Standing in from the left-handed batter's box at just 5'11", but he's got pop, thunderous bat. 1-0 fastball, misses high, kicks off the glove of Kelly. And moving up on the wild pitch is Dominic Longo. Now Hairston getting a shot with the runner in scoring position.
Again, we mentioned he's hitting .545 with 2 outs, .560 with runners in scoring position as well. I mean, that is uncanny.
He's thrived for these moments right here. Bottom 5, 2-0, 2 outs, 8-1 West Virginia, runner on second. Bale peeks at second, now the pitch home. Slider just misses down. And with an open base, a 3-0 count. Hairston, of course, is going to have the green light, but there is no reason for Yale to throw him a pitch in the zone. Here it comes. He does, though. Slider called a strike. Just caught the inside corner.
You got to think, if you're going into the mind of Hairston there, if it's anything off speed, just don't even touch it. Because the majority is, or the likelihood is that you're probably going to roll over on an off speed.
3-1, ball's crushed, deep to right field, giving it a look is Wills, and it's out of here. How about it, Landon Hairston? 8-3. His 14th homer of the season.
I mentioned this crowd was maybe getting a little bit restless. The first time they've been on their feet all night, and we're almost at hour 2 of this ball game here. Hairston finally giving them something to cheer about. Fans who couldn't attend last night wanted to attend tonight for that very reason. The Landon Hairston Show, and he delivers once again for this crowd here in Phoenix.
4:05 off the bat for Landon Hairston. Now P.J. Moutsaritas, first pitch to him is fouled down the right field line and out of play. He's just jaw-dropping. And now every time he steps up, you expect it. Was sitting there, and what did I mention right before Yale threw that? I said, why would you give him a pitch to hit? Because that's what happens. 0-1. Fastball, called a strike at the knees.
I mean, now all of a sudden Arizona State's got 3 runs on 5 hits, and they've still got the heart of the order. And again, with 2 outs nonetheless, a big spot for Hairston, and he comes through. What's new?
2-strike pitch, got Moutsaritas swinging, and that will end the inning, but not after. Landon Hairston hits his 14th home run of the season. Arizona State gets 2 back in that frame. Still a long way to go on a Saturday night at the Muni. 8-3 Mountaineers. We're back after this on Blaze.
Blaze Radio staple shows are back. Tune into Open Mic, Traffic Jam, Press Pass, Bottom of the Sixth, and Onward to Victory every weekday from 5 to 7 p.m. to get your fill on the biggest takes and trends going on in music, news, and sports. Make sure to tune in at blazeradioonline.com.
Hello, gorgeous people. It's Natalia Marin, and I have a secret to share. I have a new show. It's called The Mood Board, and it discusses what should be on your mood board every single week. Whether it's a new fashion tip, useful beauty trend, fun up-and-coming artist, or the next movie you just have to see, you will know why I love it and why you should too. It's every Tuesday at 4:30 on blazeradioonline.com. So sit back, relax, and enjoy learning about our new obsession.
Introducing my...
Moving and grooving our way to the 6th. Arizona State gets 2 back in the bottom half of the 5th inning. on a 2-run shot from their star, Landon Hairston. Jaden Alba stays on the bump. He came in for Alex Overbay after Overbay just went 2 1/3 and has been cruising since then. Looking to keep that rolling now.
He's faced the lineup once, so this will be his second time through the order. And Overbay did struggle both times he navigated his way through this West Virginia lineup, but Alba seems to be in a groove, and he's putting the Sun Devils in a good spot here in the 6th.
Has retired 7 in a row. First pitch home is a fastball on the outside corner called a strike. Einish, Kelly, and Schoenfeld do up 1, 2, and 3, the top of this order. Overshift on for the left-handed bat. Alba pause. Now the 0-1. Breaking ball, check swing, misses low. Appeal, though. He went around. 0-2.
It's a good thing I'm not an umpire on the up the lines. I certainly didn't see that, but can't argue with Blue.
Did look like from up here that he held up. The 0-2 to Einish. Goes back to that breaking ball, misses down. Nikolai keeping it in front of him. Einish. 3 at-bats so far tonight. A single, a walk, and a ground out. The Ohio transfer that has made a huge impact at the top of this lineup. 1-2. Fastball lined right at the third baseman in Rolig, and he catches it on the fly.
It's another hot shot off the bat. Mitsuritas had one spawn in his glove, as you and I described earlier. And again, good defense being played there. They call it the hot corner for a reason. Even though the shift was on, ball still found its way directly at Rolig, the third baseman. Good first out of the inning, though, keeping things rolling.
Now 8 straight retired from the Arizona State righty. Brings up Gavin Kelly, Mountaineers' best hitter. First pitch runs in tight, 1-0. And this has been the audition for Jaden Alba, a really good one to potentially get back in that starting rotation.
Or potentially have Saturday be a bridge day for either Overbay or Alba. There's a lot of options that come out of this.
1-0 fastball line down the third base line and just foul. Rolig gave it a look. If it was fair, it would have been an easy triple with the speed of Gavin Kelly. Already has 14 doubles on the year, or 13 rather. Would have been the 14th.
With ease, standing up in that corner. And it's not like Muni has crazy corners or anything. It's just with the way that ball was hooking around the bag almost. Would have made it a lot easier to get there standing up at second base.
1-1, 1 out, nobody on. Breaking ball skips well in front of the plate, blocked by Nikolai. 8-3 West Virginia. Top of the 6th, but some momentum for Arizona State in this crowd seeking to continue to pop. Hitters count for Kelly, who's 1 for 2. Now the pitch. Breaking ball, fouled away. Watch out in that West Virginia dugout.
This for Arizona State as well is another test, because we've seen the energy from West Virginia. Obviously, when you're a good team and a good program and the momentum that they've had over the last 3 years, your dugout's going to have a lot of juice regardless. But Bloomquist and the players have commented on the energy that the fans bring and the juice the team brings in the dugout, and it's infectious all across the board.
2-2. Fastball skied deep into center field. Tracking to his left near the wall is Dominic Longo, and he reaches up to make the catch. Had to go a long way after being shaded over to left center with the righty up. Made a nice catch. He covers a lot of ground.
He covers a lot of ground, but that ball hung in the air for seemingly forever. And the ball flies in this warmer climate, and that's a good example of that there. As I don't know how far into center field, into deep center field in Morgantown, that ball is going to be flying this time of year. But regardless, you play to your environment, and it's a good hitting environment here at Arizona State.
2 gone brings up Paul Schoenfeld, left-handed bat. First pitch breaking ball also skips in. The D2 Colorado Mesa transfer. No hits tonight. Reached on a hit by pitch in the second, but right in a 12-game hitting streak. So now that comes into play as the game draws on. Alba's 1-0. Also misses down on the breaker.
Schoenfeld has scored a run tonight, so he hasn't completely been irrelevant on the scorecard. Made a couple nice plays in center as well. But still, he's kind of the guy you look at the top of the lineup and pretty dangerous based on his metrics and his statistics this season.
2-0. Fastball misses down and in type.
This is the first at-bat in a while where Alba's gotten behind 2-0 and even 3-0 and hasn't been able to make a competitive pitch the next time around. So really just goes to show kind of the rhythm that he's been in so far in this ballgame.
Keeps his mechanics simple, just working out of the stretch. 3-0 fastball called the strike on the outside corner. Overshift on with the lefty up. Still 8-3 West Virginia. Good crowd tonight. A lot of other sports going on. Might have opted to stay home and watch the Elite Eight. 3-1. Fastball up and in tight, ball 4. So a 2-out base runner reaches, and that ends the streak of 8 straight retired for Jaden Alba.
What a job by him, and all good things must come to an end, they say, but for West Virginia finally being patient in an at-bat and kind of letting the at-bat come to them. And it's felt like even when Alba got behind 1-0, 2-0 in some ABs, he would land good pitches and get the West Virginia hitters kind of on their back foot.
I missed one, 9 straight retired. Oh, even more impressive. Now Sean Smith, they'll throw over to check on Schoenfeld, who's back safely with a dive. 11 stolen bases for him on the season, so a guy to keep an eye on, especially with 2 outs and the middle of the order up. Alba comes set on the first base side of the rubber. We'll throw back over, and Schoenfeld back once again with a dive.
Especially, too, because remember in that second at-bat, he got hit on either the top of his foot or his ankle or his shin. We don't really know exactly where, but for a center fielder to get banged up on your leg by a pitch can inhibit your mobility, but it didn't because he scored on the very next play.
Alba comes home. Breaking ball misses down, stopped by Nikolai on one knee. Sean Smith, 2 singles, 2 runs batted in. He punched out looking back in the 4th. But the Georgia Southern transfer right in the middle of this order has provided a ton of offense. 1-0 pitch. Fastball misses up. He's like hitting here. 3 for 4 last night, 2 for 3 tonight. Feeling it.
What's not to love? I mean, when you come from the northeast corridor of the Big 12 in West Virginia and you come to Tempe where the game time has to get pushed back because it's too hot during the day.
2-0 fastball grooved right down the middle. Alba gets back in the zone.
Always found it interesting, looking at West Virginia, preparing for tonight, you look at their midweeks and their opponents that they play and compare that to ASU's, and there's just 2 teams that would never, ever play each other's opponents just based on geography. It's very interesting the way the Big 12 Conference lines up.
2-1. Fastball lined straight back, stopped by the netting. If it wasn't there, it would have been up here in our little booth. So deuces wild, 2-2, 2 outs, runner on first. Top 6, 8-3 West Virginia. If you're just joining us, thank you. Blaze Radio, ASU student station. Aidan O'Neill, Lochlan, McTeague, Jordan Talley, our sideline reporter. Long pause. Now the 2-2 runner on the move. Breaking ball is skied into shallow center. Longo, a long race in. He was playing straight up, and he reaches up to make the one-handed grab that will end the frame. No runs, no hits. 1 runner left on base. Jaden Alba still in cruise control to the bottom of the 6th. Devils coming up when we return on Blaze.
Hi everyone, this is Bella.
And I'm Landon.
Welcome to Album Splain.
Each week we dissect one album and give our listeners some brand new music news.
There's always laughter and a good time on our show.
Listen as we talk about some of our favorite artists like Pink Panthers and Stevie Nicks, while also talking about what's going on in our lives.
Tune in on Tuesdays at 7 a.m. every week on blazeradioonline.com or on your favorite podcast streaming service.
Check out our social media channels at @AlbumSplain to learn more.
Toodles.
Toodaloo.
like MMA or UFC? Well, come check out Unanimous Decision, the all-purpose MMA show where we interview professional fighters and debate past, current, and future events in the UFC. Tune in every Monday at 7:30 p.m. for the Unanimous Decision.
Saturday Night Baseball rolls on here on Blaze Radio. Number 17, West Virginia. Number 22, ASU. Ranked baseball in the desert. But tonight, after ASU's victory yesterday was completely lopsided, winning 14-4. This has been the other way. 8-3 West Virginia, but ASU with some life their last time up after the 2-run shot from Landon Hairston, and they'll get the middle of their order in this frame.
We'll see if they can kind of make it a game of thirds so far, right? Because West Virginia far and away was the better team in those first 3 innings. Arizona State now outscoring West Virginia 2-0 in this middle third. So if you think about it like that, ASU can kind of compartmentalize and take it one at bat at a time, as obviously baseball players are full of cliches like that.
Rolig, Contrades, and Toigo. That's that lefty. Breaking ball, first pitch, misses away. Minor blemish for Max Yale in that last inning. 2-run shot to Landon Hairston, but no one can stop him. You could throw out an MLB arm right now and they might not be able to get Hairston out. 1-0, big swing and a miss. The sword from Rolig, who was fooled on the off-speed pitch. 1-1.
I mean, we were talking to the TV play-by-play guy on ESPN Plus tonight, Braden Bell. He came over and said hi to both of us, and he said they quite literally brought in their lefty specialist to face Hairston in that left-on-left matchup, and he took him deep for a grand slam.
1-1 heater misses up. When a guy just has everything going, sometimes he can't figure it out.
Well, when you're hot, you're hot. That's baseball, right?
That is baseball. Hitters count, 2-1 to Rolig. Pitch home, fastball, skied into right center field. In the park, though. Couple steps back to his right is Schoenfeld. He'll make the catch.
Again, they're getting on almost under pitches, as you can kind of see the frustration starting to mount for the rest of this lineup. I think they got to get the long ball out of their heads. And I think based on how last night went, you know, with the 4 home runs, the grand slam, Contrades, Hairston show, sending baseballs over the wall in the form that Arizona State has been in, they got to get the long ball out of their head, because Yale's pitching deep into this ball game, and West Virginia has a premier back end of their bullpen coming up.
First pitch to Contrades, runs in tight on the fastball. You're right, though. It's easy to get caught up in, oh, I'm trying to do so much damage in the box, but when you're down 5, you got to climb back slowly but surely. 1-0 to New. Swung on and missed. Fastball at the top of the zone. Swung out of his shoes as he galloped his way near that grass circle because he swung so hard.
I mean, there's a reason he hits the ball so far when he connects with it off the barrel. His exit velo numbers are off the charts.
Closed stance from the right side. The 1-2. Skips in for a ball. 2-1 rather.
But I mean, West Virginia, they didn't use a lot of their premier arms last night, and they've saved a lot of them here. So even if Arizona State creeps back and gets 3 more runs or 2 more runs to make it a 3-run ball game, West Virginia has plenty of arms to shut them down.
2-1 fastball. Grounded on a couple hops to the third baseman and Hall, but he kicks it. New will reach at first after it trickles into shallow left field. Ball was hit hard, tough hop. Arizona State has a base runner. I think they got to give him a hit.
That ball was hit really, really hard. I wouldn't be surprised if that's like a 90-plus mile-an-hour exit velo. The only issue was it was skied straight, or it was shot straight into the ground, tons of topspin, and that's a tough play for Hall. He tried to back off and let the ball come to him. I think maybe if you charge that and step into a throw, you could maybe have a better chance at it. But again, I'm not an everyday third baseman on one of the Big 12's best teams, so who am I to comment on that?
Left now to Toigo. Breaking ball flipped in for a strike. They gave it an error. Maybe I'm an optimist for thinking that should have been a hit. So
you just feel for the fielder in that play, right? Because it's such a hard hit ball at you. It's tough to do nearly anything with it, especially how close it was to his body.
0-1 lined right at the shortstop. And Aidan makes the play. 2 gone. Oh, Contrade scampers back to first. Heinisch, another one that caught himself, just moved 1 step over to his left and the ball was there. Now Dominic Smaldino with 2 gone in the bottom of the 6th. 8-3 West Virginia. Runner on first in Contrades. 8 for 8 on stolen bases, so he might think about it with 2 outs. Pitch home to Dom is called a strike on the outside corner.
And he doesn't have the most speed or range of motion right now. That's part of the reason why he's not starting at second base, because of his hamstring injury that's been lingering.
Long pause, the 0-1. Fastball, grounded on a couple of hops to the shortstop and Heinisch. He'll flip to the cover in Kresser at second. And that will end the 6th.
Arizona State getting some harder contact, but still West Virginia, even with that lone error. Yale's been making it look easy up there. He's been terrific tonight.
Only that 1 run left on base because of the error. We'll go to the 7th. 8-3 West Virginia on Blaze.
When I say kettle, you say hot. Kettle.
Hot.
Kettle.
Hot.
When I say every, you say Sunday. Every.
Sunday.
Every.
Sunday.
That's right, folks. Every Sunday from 5 to 6 p.m. on BlazeRadioOnline.com. Tune into the Kettle Hut with Nathan Kettle as the host with a special guest each and every week, talking all things sports, including their favorite sports teams, how their seasons are going, and what the future holds, along with a specialty draft of the guest's choosing, where they decide and we have some fun every Sunday on BlazeRadioOnline.com.
Welcome into the College Carousel. We unpack the latest in college sports from basketball to football to softball and more. Join your hosts Anthony Sakuman, Memphis Coles, and Annie Wingert every Tuesday at 4 p.m. streaming on BlazeRadio.com so we can spin you around the College Carousel.
Top of the 7th inning from Muni. West Virginia on top 8-3. Aidan O'Neill, Lochlan, McTeague, so happy to be with you. New pitcher after Jaden Alba was brilliant out of the bullpen. Went 3 2/3. No blemishes. Now it's Brady Luke, 5'10", 180-pound lefty from Plainfield, Illinois. Was at Florida State last year. And now gets a chance to face a couple of lefties in the West Virginia lineup.
He appeared in 9 games last year as a sophomore, 3.86 ERA over 11 2/3 innings of work, and not a ton at FSU, probably why he wanted more work over here at Arizona State. 2 years at FSU, and his freshman year had a 7.06 ERA and 14 appearances in 4 starts. Just 9 appearances last year, 4 already this season. Only amassing 2 1/3 innings here. He's given up 2 earned runs, 3 total, 5 hits, a walk, and 3 strikeouts as well. He hasn't pitched very much. He pitched against UConn in the midweek, Mississippi State in that 8-4 loss in Arlington. Loyola Marymount when they came here earlier in the month, and then at UNLV on Monday.
Brock Wills, Brody Kresser, and Matthew Graveland due up. First pitch home is popped up right back to the pitcher. And Luke, who will make the catch after falling off the mound, backing up a few steps, making sure to not trip on the rubber. And squeezes it.
Easy first out, really gets you into the ball game when you gotta go off the back of the mound and catch a pop fly.
Now it's Brody Kresser. Top 7, 1 gone, nobody on, 8-3 Mountaineers. Game 2 of this 3-game set. Tomorrow's will be on ESPN2. Fastball called a strike. Pretty cool. getting college baseball in the primetime slot. Had a couple of those last year. That'll be a 5:05 first pitch. Luke will wind. The 0-1. Fastball swung on and missed. Kresser's tardy.
I mean, it's pretty cool having baseball. I mean, two of the best Big 12 teams facing off. Not to mention you get it at 5 o'clock and two ranked opponents playing each other nonetheless.
0-2. Fastball skied foul down the right field line. Out of play.
And that game as well was supposed to be at 1 o'clock. Usually those games are at 1 o'clock on Sundays, getaway day, allowing the team to travel back. But it's going to be so hot tomorrow. It's going to be almost 100 degrees and mid-90s here in the Valley. So that you can't play at 1 o'clock when it's 95 degrees and sunny. I don't know how well attended that game would be either. I know that's not certainly a game I would want to go to.
This has been...
I'm a pretty fair-skinned guy. I mean, McTeague and O'Neill.
Oh, yeah.
We don't tan very well.
No. So it looks like after that foul ball from Kresser, he's a little shaken up, gets checked on by the third base coach. If the game was at 1 tomorrow, it'd be 92 with a little cloud cover. That's still pretty warm. And you're not complaining with 81 degrees at this hour. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Luke's 0-2. Got him swinging. Fanned out and missed on a breaking ball. Down and outside. Luke's first punch out and 2 gone in the 7th.
Really good job for the lefty out of the bullpen who's had shaky-ish numbers to say the least.
Matthew Gravlin will now step up. Fastball misses. High goes to the backstop through the glove of Cohen Nikolai. Arizona State always in striking distance, even though they're down 5 with still 9 outs to play with. That's a lot with how good their offense is. The 1-0 swung on and missed. Gravlin was out in front.
And they're getting a gift from their pitching staff here as Jaden Alba gave them a really good quality 3-inning stretch from him out of the bullpen after Overbay struggled.
1-1. Fastball fouled straight back. It's 1-2.
And in the blink of an eye, I mean, this inning has gone by, at least to this point, really, really quick. And you look up and Luke's 1 pitch away.
After being the #1 lefty in the state of Illinois, Luke went to Florida State, now finds himself in Tempe. 1-2 fastball misses up. Gravlin so far tonight 0 for 3, or 1 for 3, had a single back in the 2nd. Had a couple of ground outs his last 2 at-bats. 2-2, 2 gone, nobody on. Breaking ball misses low. Stopped by Nikolai.
Nikolai's had to be on his game. There's been a number of balls skipped in the dirt in front of him. He's certainly getting a workout.
The wind and the 3-2. Fastball outside corner, called strike 3. Gravlin thought it was ball 4, was ready to take off the elbow guard and walk down to first. But our home plate umpire tonight, and Christopher Gonzalez, says, no, sir. Stretch time in Tempe, 8-3 West Virginia. We'll step aside and be back after this.
4. Is that what your golf game sounds like? Well, mine too. But hey, if you play, that means you love golf. And if you want to love golf Tuesdays from 12:30 to 1 p.m. Arizona time, then you can join me, Brennan Bucher, on Blaze Radio Online for all things scores, equipment, leaderboards, and event coverage. It's everything from the Corn Ferry to Live to the PGA Tour. If it's golf, it's on the 16th hole on Blaze Radio Online.
Blaze Radio staple shows are back. Tune into Open Mic, Traffic Jam, Press Pass, Bottom of the Sixth, and Onward to Victory every weekday from 5 to 7 p.m. to get your fill on the biggest takes and trends going on in music, news, and sports. Make sure to tune in at blazeradioonline.com.
Forks Up Thunderbolts. Join me, Chris Town, as I scour the entirety of ASU to find the heroes who do it all. The unsung who brave the challenges to make our university at the top. let's bring the spotlight to those who do the most and see how they do it all. Join me for the Unsung Heroes of ASU, live every Thursday at 3 p.m. only on Blaze Radio.
The fans have stretched their legs. Bottom 7 coming up at Muni. 7, 8, 9 due up for Arizona State. Aidan O'Neill, Lochlan, McTeague up at the broadcast booth. Arizona State, West Virginia. It's the Mountaineers up 5, but still always life in those Arizona State bats. It'll start with Longo, who's 0 for 1, was hit by pitches last time, and still going is Maxiel, the lefty. First pitch, breaking ball, misses up. The last starts for Maxiel, Lochlan. 11 strikeouts, 12 strikeouts, 9 Ks, has gone 6 innings or more in all 3. So now you can make that 4 straight starts of going 6+ innings.
Unbelievable stuff from him tonight, and we mentioned his sequencing, as it looks like we got pump faked on a call there by the home plate umpire.
2-0 now. Fastball missed down. And the ump wanted to call it a strike, but didn't.
He's been mixing in that slider-fastball combo so well. The Sun Devils have been off balance all night.
2-0 to Longo, fouled straight back near that press box and fouled away. Yesterday, on a similar pop-up straight back, some glass shattered in that press box, was going viral on social media.
Yeah, that was the chatter in the press area when I visited earlier before setting up our broadcast gear.
2-1, swung on and missed. Longo was late on the 83-mile-per-hour off-speed. Simply fooled. Utah transfer. That title, Utah Valley transfer. That title of coming over from a different school can be said for so many of these guys, as the 2-2 skied to straightaway right field. Wills barely has to move, and he'll make the one-handed grab.
And again, just another lazy fly ball off the bat of the Sun Devils, and you got to think now, like you're almost through the 3rd time of the order, and that's the age-old thing, right? Is can your starting pitcher get you through the order 3 times? And Maxiel, that was the big question mark with how hot these Arizona State hitters were and how potent this lineup is for the Sun Devils, but he's answered all the questions here so far.
Now it's Cohen Nikolai. Fastball called a strike at the belt. That velocity has been down for Maxiel, but he is still just cruising, and it's because he's commanding the strike zone. Has yet to walk about it. 0-1. Runs in tight on the heater.
And there was 2 outcomes I could have foreseen with this game, right? You got a pitcher who pounds the zone against a team that destroys baseballs in the strike zone. It's either going to be a lot of fly balls or not as hard hit contact, but a lot of outs on the ground or in the air, or it's going to be an absolute hit parade for ASU, and it's been the latter so far.
1-1 misses down. Hitters count now for Nikolai. 0 for 2 so far tonight. Not start yesterday. Fouls away the 2-1, straight back and out of play.
Hit the stairs and the railing.
Yeah, not too far from us.
I was going to say, whenever there's a foul ball over my head, I always reach my arm out just out of courtesy, just because I think it's funny.
Just in case.
It was actually closer than I thought it was going to be.
2-2 with 1 gone. Breaking ball, skied to left center field, but not deep. Moving over is Schoenfeld to his right, and the lefty will make the one-handed squeeze in front of his partner in the outfield in Graveland. 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th.
And again, it's that breaking ball. They're getting just a little bit too early. They're not kind of letting it come to them. I think they're trying to anticipate it on the way down, and they're having a lot of trouble not staying on top of the baseball and not driving it.
Now it's Beckett Zavorik with 2 outs. Maxiel approaching 7 innings of baseball. Fastball misses high. To miss last year due to injury, to kind of just be waiting around, the man from Portville, New York, and now come back after Tommy John and be so effective is an incredible story. 1-0 misses up. And he's a really interesting case, as after the first 2 pitches are balls, Kelly will go out to chat with Yale, and the infield will join him. He's a really interesting case when it comes to the MLB draft, because what a lot of teams are looking for now is potential. They draft for that. They want to develop a guy in their system. But wouldn't you also want to have a guy that's established and he's dominating at the college level? I wonder where scouts view him on their lists.
Yeah, and it's tough to mix, right? Because we've seen this. We've seen it at ASU, right? Their top 2 guys last year, Martinez and Ben Jacobs, were both taken in the first few rounds because at times they were very dominant, but you could see the potential in some of their pitches. Everything's here. The tools are there. You just got to you got to get him in front of some better bats and see what he does at the end of the day. And it's just whether or not organizations are ready and don't have a plethora of lefties.
2-0 to Zavorak, grooved in there, so that meeting on the mound works, at least for the moment.
The other thing you find, too, is pitchers seem to have a leg up if they're throwing from the left side and if they're throwing in the low to mid-9s. That's kind of your sweet spot.
2-1, grounded sharply to the third baseman in Hall. He corrals it, though, and will fire to first to end the inning. Sun Devils go down in order 1, 2, 3. We'll head to the 8th. Time running out for ASU in Game 2 of this series. It's 8-3 West Virginia on Blaze.
Clock it! Clock it!
Tune in to Out of Timeouts at 2 p.m. on Thursdays at blazeradioonline.com. Out of Timeouts is a sports show hosted by Xavier Maserati, Wesley Stomball, and Angus Trangmo. Every week we have 4 segments that are timed and we can't stop the clock. There is, of course, a slight break for halftime in our question of the week. You can also listen on Spotify with new episodes dropping every week on Fridays at 11 a.m. in Arizona. Looks like I'm out of time. Make sure to tune in.
What if your favorite player never got injured, or what if the biggest trade never even happened?
We'll take a step into the multiverse every Thursday at 8 p.m. with Jacob Shanker, Crawford McKinstry, and Justin Lacertosa as they discuss some of the biggest what-ifs in NBA history and see how it alters basketball forever.
With basketball into the multiverse.
Eighth inning, 8-3 West Virginia. Brady Luke will stay on the mound for Arizona State. Aidan O'Neill, Lochlan, McTeague. A lot of fans have begun to hit the exits, but I would caution them, Lochlan, because this Arizona State offense, with how good it is, until that final out is made and they're doing the celebration on the mound, it's truly not over.
Not at all, and not with the pitching performance since the start of the 4th inning as well from Jaden Alba and Brady Luke. And ASU, again, batting .332 as a team. That's 9th nationally and 2nd in the Big 12. And team has a .529 slugging percentage. That's also top 10, top 20 in runs per game at 9.2, and they're going to need 9 if they can come back here.
First pitch to Armani Guzman. He tried to go for the drag bunt up the first baseline. Rolig was crashing in, but a good idea with his blazing speed, as Jordan talked about earlier. And with the lefty falling off the mound on the third base side, if that's pushed with this big shift, it's an easy base hit. 0-1, lined past the shortstop in Moutsaritas and into shallow left field. Hard turn from Guzman, picked up by Longo and a strong throw into second. A leadoff single for the 8-hole man.
And that's a tough one there for Moutsaritas. I think he was kicking himself as he was watching that ball trickle into center field. It seemed from my vantage point, he could have maybe tried to take a couple steps to his right to maybe try and stab it, but it was hard enough hit on the ground, and that looks like it'll be all for Brady Luke.
So he goes an inning, his line's still open. We'll call it 1+ with that earned run on first. But a good job by him continuing to pass the baton down. Looks like we're going to get Josh Butler, the tall righty, after this. No outs, Top 8, 8-3 West Virginia, runner on first. We're back in a few moments.
In a world of mediocre film podcasts comes another mediocre film podcast. But this time, with the 3 worst people you know.
You've never seen Megalopolis? It insists upon itself!
Your favorite movie is what?
Turbo! Are you stupid? Wrong!
Get out! The A-List. Mondays at noon.
This is your captain speaking. It's time to fasten your seatbelts, open your ears, and board the audio passport.
Coming to you live every Monday from 7 to 8 p.m. on BlazeRadioOnline.com with your pilots, Noah Fuller
And Stephanie Doty. Each flight we will explore the sound and critical reception of local musicians from a new destination.
We hope you join us on this masterclass experience and choose the audio passport as your next airline.
Safe travels
and salutations.
If you're happy on a Sunday, tune into The Jay Foo Show. If you're happy on a Sunday, tune into The Jay Foo Show. If you're happy on a Sunday and you want to crush the day and or the week ahead, tune into The Jay Foo Show. That's right, I'm Jack Footer, aka Jay Foo, back with you Sunday morning from 10 to 11 a.m. for another awesome semester of The Jay Foo Show. So tune in and you will say it's the best time you've had all week.
No outs in the top of the 8th inning. It's the big righty coming in for the lefty, Brady Luke. 6'7", Josh Butler. And from Phoenix, Arizona, went to O'Connor High School. Been good so far this year. Been with Arizona State since 2023. 3-0 with a 2.84 ERA and 12 2/3, and a look to keep the momentum rolling on this side of the ball.
Yeah, and he's another guy at the back end of the bullpen. He was kind of a middle relief guy. His role was a little bit undefined in that bullpen last year, especially with Cole Carlone, their Friday guy, being that 8th and 9th inning fireman, if you will. But this season, Butler has really kind of come into his own. He's got 12 2/3 innings of work so far, and he's coming in big spots. Had a couple innings of work against New Mexico State on Wednesday, so he's still pretty hot.
Butler comes set, pitch home, runner on the move, breaking ball misses outside. And on cue, Armani Guzman with another stolen base, make that after the one earlier. 14 for 14 on the season.
Unbelievable stuff, and he timed it perfectly. Even if Butler had pounded a mid-90s fastball down the heart of the plate, I still don't think they would have caught him stealing.
Butler, long peek back at Guzman, squaring to Bunna's Hall, and he misses. Right through into the glove of Cohen Nikolai, 0-1.
Now, I've always wondered, obviously, with metal bats being lighter and having more pop, and you are able to hit the ball a lot harder with a metal bat than wood, how different bunting would be with metal, like how much you have to pull the bat back to get less pop off of it to try and get it on the ground.
Squaring to bunt again, 1-1. Butler's pitch home, fastball bunted up the first base line, but will go foul. Picked up by Dom Smaldino.
And that's important, too, because now Hall has to swing the bat, or else if he bunts it foul one more time, that's strike 3. So very important that Butler got him to strike 2 now to force his hand. And especially in a pitcher-friendly county, you can throw him something nasty that he'll try and swing at. Maybe trying to get Tyrese Hall to extend his zone a little bit.
Steve Savins, too, likely comfortable with Hall swinging the bat. Had a triple earlier. Butler peeked back at second, now the pitch. Slider runs outside, 2-2.
A smart take from Hall. He was probably thinking that he was throwing him an off speed all the way. But the trick when you are either sitting off speed, you still got to be on time for that fastball because you can't get something like that blown by you.
Butler varying his pacing. 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball, cold, strike 3 on the inside corner. Froze Tyrese Hall for the first out of the inning.
And he front doored him. Started at his rib cage.
Official attendance for tonight, 3,299. Would say that's probably down to 2,500 in these late innings. A lot of people leaving early. Now Paul Schoenfeld. First pitch to him, chopped to the right side, fielded by Zavorik on a couple hops, pump fake to first, now will throw to the cover in Smaldino. 2 gone, moving up on the play is Guzman to third.
Similar to a few innings ago, similar situation happened with Zavorik, and nothing you can do there, just take the surefire out, and I'm glad he got his feet under him because he was shuffling trying to make that throw, and you never know sometimes when variables can be off and you can just yank a throw or put one high over your first baseman's head, but Zavorik had plenty of time, set his feet, and recorded the second out of the inning.
Gavin Kelly, the last chance for the Mountaineers in this frame. Fastball misses low. Correction on that, that was Matt Einish on the rollover, leadoff man. Now to Kelly in the 2 spot, who earlier tonight extended that hitting streak to 19 games. 1-0. Breaking ball's crushed. Deep to left field. Hairston's going to give it a look back to the wall, and it's gone into the bullpen. Gavin Kelly's 4th home run of the year makes the lead 10-3 for the Mountaineers.
And that could possibly be the dagger. The kill shot delivered by Gavin Kelly. He had just a single before that outing. Takes Josh Butler deep into his own bullpen, and the dugout's hype, the bullpen's hype, and Mountaineers are rolling tonight. Phoenix Municipal is quiet.
It was a hanging slider from Josh Butler that caught the middle of the plate, and Kelly, who's so polished, was ready. First pitch now to Schoenfeld is scolded into left center. Longo's going to lay out. He can't get there. Rolling all the way to the wall. Hairston will pick it up, and Schoenfeld will put on the brakes at second. The Mountaineers offense getting rolling in the top half of the 8th.
Boy, that ball had a nasty tail on it. That was fading the entire way from Longo. And while I do appreciate the effort, you got to appreciate the dive out there in left center. He was so far away from where that ball hit, regardless of how fast he went. But Schoenfeld as well could have maybe extended that to a triple, possibly. If this was a tighter ball game, maybe we see him round second. But you got to think maybe with his hindered mobility, some of the adrenaline may have been wearing off on his foot, where he got plonked earlier in this ball game. But I think West Virginia will take a stand-up double.
Turns over to Sean Smith, the cleanup hitter, who will foul a fastball straight back. Josh Butler on the season, this is appearance number 11. It's the first time he's given up multiple runs.
A few out-of-character performances, and again, it's a guy that's been so reliable, and it just stinks for Willie Bloomquist and his squad when it happens in a moment like that.
0-1 fastball chopped off, and Nikolai, the catcher, and it ricochets to the feet of Butler, who picks it up. 0-2, 2 outs.
And it felt almost like West Virginia was getting content with their lead and okay, and not really putting together too many competitive at-bats. They weren't stringing at-bats together like they were earlier in the game that was leading to success. And if they didn't get those runs there, it felt like ASU could potentially crawl their way back into this ball game, but now that's looking bleak.
The 0-2. Fastball misses high. Started off with the single from Armani Guzman, who stole second. Then Hall struck out looking. Einish grounded out, and it looked like, okay, you'll get out of this unscathed, but then the 2 big swings. Smith is going to line one into left field. It's down in front of Hairston. Getting the send around third is Schoenfeld. The throw's cut off, and he'll score with ease. Rolig cut it off, threw it back to first to try to get Smith taking a wide turn, but the tag was too late, and it's 11-3 Mountaineers.
That was a good-looking throw from Landon Hairston. I think it might have been a little bit offline if Rolig let it go all the way to home. Boy, that would have been something if Landon Hairston had made that throw for the final out. But nonetheless, another great piece of hitting, this time from Smith.
And have a series, Sean Smith. 3 for 4 last night, 3 for 5 tonight. So make that 6 hits in 2 games.
He's got 4 RBIs,
4
I
runs
believe,
batted
yeah.
in. 3 tonight. won last night. And with all the big boppers at the top of their order, you think Kelly, you think Schoenfeld.
And Smith's
right there.
Thought Smith might be getting subbed out. We'll see if he's getting pinch run for. I believe he is.
Looks like that is the case. Get that number for you in just a sec.
Weston Maisie, 14 in gray for West Virginia. Takes over in that DH slot, so he can go and chill for the rest of the night. Can Sean Smith.
First substitution we've had for a position player tonight, so Lochlan and I scratching up the scorecards. Pitch home, swung on and missed by Wills.
And you know what, I don't mind that because I've had a few times here over my years in college here at ASU where there's been a plethora of substitutions every inning, and it's been challenging at times, especially those summer ball non-league games too can get a little challenging.
0-1 to Wills, grounded softly to Zavork, ranging to his left. He'll pick it up, throw to first, and that will end the inning. Not after, though. A 3 spot for West Virginia could be the kill shot in this Saturday night contest. Josh Butler, one of the few times he's struggled this season in relief. To the bottom of the 8th. Devils trail by 8. We're back after this.
Blaze Radio needs your support. If you want to donate to help Blaze Radio, go to blazeradioonline.com and click on the orange box in the top left-hand corner that says Support Blaze Radio and make a donation today to help ASU's student radio station reach the next level.
Is that what your golf game sounds like? Well, mine too. But hey, if you play, that means you love golf. And if you want to love golf Tuesdays from 12:30 to 1 p.m. Arizona time, then you can join me, Brennan Bucher, on Blaze Radio Online for all things scores, equipment, leaderboards, and event coverage. It's everything from the Corn Ferry to Live to the PGA Tour. If it's golf, it's on the 16th hole on Blaze Radio Online.
Welcome back to Phoenix Municipal Stadium. It is Saturday night in Tempe. Arizona State Sun Devils down 11-3 going into the bottom of the 8th. But let's take a closer look at Willie Bloomquist and co. 13 players on this Sun Devil roster are natives of Arizona and Washington State. You know, big emphasis on homegrown talent has been Willie Bloomquist and setting the tone for the Sun Devil culture. Last night he said, "There's something special going on in Tempe. We have a phenomenal program, a historical program. You can see that homegrown talent does phenomenal things here in Tempe." Willie Bloomquist himself has a long tenured history here in Arizona as he was an ASU alum, Arizona Diamondback in the MLB, and also playing for the Mariners as he's from Bremerton, Washington. So a big emphasis on homegrown talent has been key for Willie Bloomquist and a lot this season at these press conferences. So back to you guys.
Now, Jordan, thank you for that. Arizona State being able to keep people home is so key as the years go on and they continue to build up this program. Looking to take it to new heights. 11-3 the score, West Virginia on top, bottom 8, top of the order for ASU. It's Landon Hairston, who homered his last time. He'll take a fastball up and away, and a new arm on the mound in Reese Bassinger. Bassinger, 6'1", 196-pound right-hander. Tarleton State, where he used to play, 2025. So West Virginia, though. 1-0's chopped to the third baseman. Throws it over to first. That was Hall over to Guzman, and Guzman picks it on the back end. Hairston retired on just 2 pitches.
Boy, we mentioned the rotation of the infield and outfield for West Virginia. Guzman is not an everyday first baseman. He gets starts a lot of the time, but he splits time with a couple other guys over there. So for him to make that play on his forehand and pick that ball out of the dirt for out number 1 is big. It's sound defensive plays like those that carry victories home for you in these stages of ball games.
Bassinger's first pitch to Moutsaritas is lined into right field and gets down just in front of Wills.
For Bassinger, too, he was an all Big 12 honorable mention player last year. And to get a guy like that back in the latter portion of your bullpen, pitching in some more high leverage situations for a good team like West Virginia, that's really important. And although this might not be the most high leverage situation, you could consider evening up a series high leverage enough.
Now Austin Rolig digging in from the right side. First pitch home is an off speed at 82 that misses outside. Coming over from Tarleton State, where he was WAC All-Tournament team in 2024, last year with West Virginia. All Big 12 honorable mention, but that 1-0 pitch will run in tight. It'll hit Rolig. And Arizona State has 2 base runners. That's the second time a man in the top of this order has been plunked. It was Moutsouridis back in the first. And now Rolig wearing 1 in the 8th.
Now it triggers a mound meeting between Kelly and Bassinger. But big spot for New Contrades, and again, we'll see what the Sun Devils' minds are like here. Are they aiming for the fences? Are they swinging for the fences, trying to call their shot, do as much damage, or are they just trying to string hits together? What is the approach right now? Because it seems like they've been trying to dig the long ball tonight, and it hasn't worked out for them other than Hairston.
Just got to focus on hitting line drives. That was the 3rd time that Bassinger has hit a batter this year. Now New Contrades. First pitch is a breaking ball. Tapped foul up the third base line.
I don't hate that from New Contrades, getting aggressive early in the count, trying to look for a pitch to hit. But he was well early on that breaking ball.
New hailing from Hawaii. Been a staple of this Sun Devil program, defining the Willie Bloomquist era. It's always been just, can he stay on the field? Injury concern. 0-1. Breaking ball's lined into right field. It's scolded. Going back is Schoenfeld. He'll make the catch. Tagging at second is Moutsouridis, and he'll make it to third without a throw. Rolig hung up at first. 2 gone, runners on the corners.
That's good contact off that bat there. Can't hate that if you're New Contrades. And sometimes you hit the ball hard, but it's right at some players, and that's just the way it goes, and that's the way it's been going, it seems like, for Arizona State.
Dean Toigo will step in from the left-handed box with a runner on third, a runner on first. 11-3 West Virginia, 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. Bassinger from the first base side. His breaking ball called a strike. Toigo, he's been a man on a mission this year after being Mountain West Co-Player of the Year in 2025 at UNLV, but in this series, just 1 for 7. 0-1. Fastball down and in at 86.
You got to have the mindset now is it doesn't matter what you've done, it's what you do next. And all of that can kind of be erased with one swing depending on what happens here. But you got a man 90 feet away from potentially getting yourself 1 run closer.
1-1. Breaking ball chopped off the foot of Toigo.
For the Sun Devils, too, this is a guy in Bassinger who has not allowed a long ball yet this year. Only 2 extra base hits as well.
Moutsouridis on third, Rolig on first. Now the pitch. Fastball runs in tight. Toigo moved out of the way of it. 2-2, 2 outs. I called the 86-mile-per-hour pitch a fastball. He just threw a 94, so that was not a heater. He can really ramp it up when he gets going. Long pause in the stretch, the 2-2. Breaking ball, line down the right field line. Can it stay fair? It can. Coming in to score is Moutsouridis. On his horse to third is Rolig. Toigo slides into second, and the throw from right field from Wills is not in time. Dean Toigo's 5th double of the season, RBI number 31. And the Devils clawing their way back
trying to get some kind of rally. Second and third, 2 down. Got to think a single potentially brings in 2. And boy, when Toigo was rounding first with that much conviction, I thought that was a poor decision by him to try and stretch that to a double in that spot, but you may as well.
Now Dom Smaldino. Pitch home, fastball measured straight back. You know when a guy hits it straight back, that means that they're on it.
Very on time.
And you think now, down 7, one big swing, you're really back in it. Going into another half inning to hit. 0-1. Breaking ball, took some off, and it's called a strike at the knees.
And going back to that hit by Toigo, a great cutoff. I think that goes unnoticed from Willis over there, because that ball could have two-hopped in the corner and brought home a pair of runs, but he saved a run there with his defensive play in the corner.
0-2. Got him swinging. Out in front on the breaking ball. 82 miles per hour. Bassinger with a couple of blemishes, but nothing too major with this huge lead. Gave up a single, a hit by pitch, and then the RBI double from Dean Toigo, but ends the frame, punching out Smaldino. To the 9th, 11-4 West Virginia. You're listening to KASC, Blaze Radio.
Clark, step back 3. You bet. Ball lets it fly.
Hey, it's Lauren.
And I'm Kinla. We're 2 sports journalism majors who basically grew up on the field, the court, and in the stands.
Welcome to The Athlete Era, your weekly dose of women's sports and what it's really like to live life as 20-year-old girls in the sporting world.
From buzzer beaters and rivalries to our own behind-the-scenes stories, we bring you takes you won't hear anywhere else. Catch Athlete Era every Sunday from 4 to 5.
Right here on Blaze Radio.
Tune in and join the era.
4. Is that what your golf game sounds like? Well, mine too. But hey, if you play, that means you love golf. And if you want to love golf Tuesdays from 12:30 to 1 p.m. Arizona time, then you can join me, Brennan Bucher, on Blaze Radio Online for all things scores, equipment, leaderboards, and event coverage. It's everything from the Corn Ferry to Live to the PGA Tour. If it's golf, it's on the 16th hole on Blaze Radio Online.
Top of the 9th inning here at Muni. Devils get one back in the bottom of the 8th, courtesy of Dean Toigo, Aidan O'Neill, Lochlan, McTeague. One final frame unless Arizona State decides to mount a major comeback. Nick Anello, the new pitcher for Arizona State, 6'3", 210-pound righty, the senior from Coconut Creek, Florida, and a Jacksonville transfer.
Yeah, all A-Sun third team at Jacksonville in 2025. 19 games out of the pen. 9 saves, tied for second in the conference as well. So he's been in those high leverage back end situations. And this season with Arizona State as well, he's had just 2 appearances, an inning and a third. He's given up 1 earned in that time. So maybe a bit of a prove-it spot here for the Jacksonville transfer.
And a chance, too, for Willie Bloomquist to get a look at potentially another arm. That's the thing about baseball when it comes to coaches. In a game where everybody's exiting and it might be over, there's still big takeaways. There's still lots to figure out, and I would imagine that's how Willie Bloomquist is viewing this. So Brody Kresser will lead us off. First pitch fastball at 90. Misses just up. Kresser, Graveland, and Guzman, 6, 7, and 8. Defense straight up, working out of the stretch as Anello. 1-0, took some off on the changeup, and it floats in on the outside corner.
Yeah, any good college coach would always be evaluating, right? How do they react in this spot? Do they go out there with conviction and even though their team is down a lot of runs, or do they kind of just go out there to go through the motions?
A quiet Phoenix Municipal Stadium that started off with well over 3,000 fans. Now eyes set on tomorrow, but still got to wrap this one up. 2-1. Popped up. Shallow right field over the first baseman set in Smaldino, but it trails foul. He gave it a look. Couldn't get there.
That's a tough. Any ball that comes over your head like that is so tough. I mean, the dexterity is off. You kind of got to reach out your glove, and you're not really sure if it's gonna pop into the leather, but a bit too far of a run there from Smaldino.
Kresser's 1 for 4 tonight. Defense playing him straight up. 2-2. Fastball chopped on a couple of hops to Mutsaritas. Fields it in the hole. Long throw to first. Picked by Smaldino on one hop. He had to hurry with Kresser providing some speed on the back end, but got him in time.
And a good job as well from Anello, getting him to roll over on an easy grounder to short, and Mutsaritas with a low throw, but it didn't matter as Smaldino with another really good pick. We've seen some good defense in this game at times from both teams. And again, another thing for Anello is he hasn't pitched since March the 7th.
First pitch fastball called the strike to Matthew Graveland.
It's just over 3 weeks, and if you're a bullpen guy, you're better when you're getting more action and you're throwing more often. You get into more of a groove, and it's kind of tougher when you're just kind of a rotational guy.
0-1, check swing. He went around on the breaking ball. 0-2. So Nick Anello showing us something here. He's been limited in appearance, only an inning and a third this season, and has looked good. Win now picking up, moving from right to left. The American flag on one side, Arizona flag on the other. Change up on the 0-2, misses down.
Today, weather-wise, was really interesting because I woke up pretty early this morning, and it was very cloudy, dusty, hazy, and then kind of slowly cleared out, and we thought there might be air quality issues today when we got to the park, but that all blew through in time, and it's been a really pleasant night here in Phoenix.
Anello's 1-2. Changeup floats in low. Yeah, woke up, checked the weather app like usual, and it said air quality warning. And looked outside, looked a little hazy. That's Arizona for you, though. One day, beautiful blue skies. Other day, you could have a haboob. 2-2. Fastball lined into right field and through for a base hit. That ball was smoked by Graveland. Went with the pitch, a fastball in the outer third. One out base runner for the Mountaineers.
That's a good job. I'm not sure if he was trying to poke it through the opposite field, but I think his approach there seemed to just be protect the plate, and he got a fastball on that outer corner. And boy, when you're swinging it well, it's infectious, it's contagious, and that's just another good piece in the opposite field. And West Virginia just continues to kill the Sun Devils. Death by a million cuts here, it seems.
One gone for Armani Guzman, who's 2 for 4. First pitch is fouled off a Nikolai behind the dish. Armani Guzman, blazing speed. 2 stolen bases along with the pair of knocks. Bottom of this order today has been really, really good. 0-1. Swung on and missed. Out in front on the 80-mile-per-hour changeup. And with that, Lochlan, looking at it, 5 hits combined for hitters 7 through 9. That's a rarity, and that's been a big reason. That's 5 of the 14 hits.
You know, we focused on that top end of this batting order, but top end doesn't get there unless the bottom end comes through.
0-2, lined into right field. That's down for a base hit. It's enough in front where Graveland thought about going first to third. The throw in from Toy goes a bit offline, but cut off by Mutsaritas. Back-to-back singles get the ball rolling for West Virginia in the 9th.
And obviously I had a kind of an indirect connection, you and I both do, with Tyrus Hall, but I knew what kind of player he was because I worked on a team a couple summers ago in Brooks, Alberta with a kid from Bossier Paris, actually, and a couple guys who went there and then went on to Ball State this year who played with him. And I've seen what kind of player he can be. And to see him slotted in the 9 hole, it kind of set the table. It's like, okay, they're trying to get a guy to table set for that top of the order. That's how they work.
First pitch missed up. 1-0 breaking ball, also in tight.
Hall seems like a guy who can be a middle of the order third baseman. He's got some power. He's obviously, as you mentioned, coming in, he's got hits in 5 of his last 6.
2-0, 1 out. Runners on first and second in the top of the ninth. 11-4 the score. Change up, misses up and in tight. And after we were raving about Nick Anello, retired the first batter of this frame, got ahead on Graveland. It's been back-to-back singles and now behind 3-0 to the 9-hole batter. Looking to find it. Hall already with a triple and reached on a walk. And that one misses for ball 4. So the bases are loaded in the 9th inning. What has been ugly has gotten a bit worse. And it's back to the top of the order with Matt Einish.
Adversity time here for Anello really shows what you're made of at this point in time. He was cruising and then incurred a couple base runners, and he just hasn't looked the same whatsoever. His command all of a sudden has fallen off, and he's just trying to find himself once again.
Corners in, middle of the infield back, looking to turn 2. First pitch fastball misses away. Make that 5 straight balls. This is Einish's 6th at-bat of the night. West Virginia's barrage of offense has given him those opportunities. Says there's a strike. Change up by Anello on the inner third.
I mean, a litmus test for me, just looking at my scorecard of how a baseball game's going, is this is the 6th at-bat and 6th time through the order. Arizona State's just 3.5 times through the order so far this game.
1-1 change up down and in.
Tells you all you need to know, really, in a nutshell.
You feel for Nick Anello to have such a good start to the inning and now see it fall apart in front of his eyes. Just looking to earn a spot in this bullpen. 2-1 misses high, and it's 3-1. So now there's nowhere to put him. Matt Einish, a heck of a hitter. We've already raved about him. 3-1, 1 out, bases loaded. Mountaineers up 7. Anello kicks and deals. Fastball called a strike at the knees. Einish tossed his bat, thought he had ball 4. Got to go pick it up, and we'll do it again. I think for umpires, when you see that, having up myself, it entices you to even call a strike, even more than you were already.
Yeah, you kind of want to have that confidence factor of the no, I was right.
Yep.
That's the correct call. That was there. I was on the black.
3-2-1 gone. Here it comes. Ground ball to the left side. Fielded by Mutsaritas on the run to his right to throw to first in time. A nice play, but still coming in to score is Graveland. Each of the other 2 runners move up in Guzman and Hall. And it's 12-4 on the RBI ground out.
I mean, everything seemingly going right for the Mountaineers again tonight. Even a ground ball is perfectly placed where Mutsaritas has absolutely no play for a double play. No play to throw home. Just can throw it to first and just soak the fact that you're giving up another run.
Pitch home is a breaking ball called to strike to Gavin Kelly. Kelly, his last time through in the 8th inning, put a charge into a hanging Josh Butler slider out to that away bullpen. Picked up a homer. Chance to hit with 2 runners in scoring position. He lines one off the runner at third in Armani Guzman, and that's why they teach you as a kid. When you're running the bases at third, you line up in foul territory. He got nailed. Oh, boy.
That almost looked like it could have been a fair ball down the third base line, too. That looked really close because he was right on that line for some reason. I mean, he is just a freshman, so you hope that it's a teaching moment for him for sure. The baseball can hurt from time to time.
0-2 to Gavin Kelly. Ball's grounded deep into the hole for Mutsaritas. He fields it on the run. Throw to first, not in time. Smaldino had to come off the bag. Probably would have beat it out anyway. Coming in to score is Armani Guzman, and it's 13-4.
And again, just everything going right. That's back-to-back ground balls they've gotten runs on.
2 tough plays for PJ Moutsaritas, who gave it his all. That one just deep into the hole. Moutsaritas was shaded to his left, closer to second base.
I mean, that's a tough play for an MLB everyday shortstop. Like, you'd be hard-pressed to see Geraldo Perdomo of the Diamondbacks make that play most times.
First pitch breaking ball is called a strike. New batter here, Zahir Barjam. First AB for him tonight. 0-1 heater misses up. He's pinch hitting for Paul Schoenfeld. So if he goes back out on defense, we'll see if he stays in the game in center field. Schoenfeld reached 3 times. He had a double his last at bat. See how Barjam can pick it up. Ball's cued softly to the right side. Zavorik's charging in at second. He fields it with his glove and flips it with the glove to end the inning. Got the speedy Barjam jamming down first. West Virginia, after Arizona State got close, starting to creep back into this game. 5 runs over the past 2 innings. It's going to have to be a miracle in the bottom of the 9th if the Sun Devils want to come back. The final stages when we return on Blaze.
Have you ever wondered why your team can just never draft a quarterback?
There's the big gaffe that has plagued Zach Wilson.
Are you a sicko who wants to know how your season can come to a grinding halt?
Shaheed breaks through!
Or maybe it just feels like your team will never make the offseason moves to become a real contender.
And they got there!
If this applies to you, then tune in to Roll the Tape.
Every Wednesday from 2 to 3 p.m. on Blaze Radio with Will Anderson, Avery Getchie, and Jack Kemler.
Because it just feels better to know what you're watching the next time your team is losing.
Have you ever had deep conversations with your friends before? Like the ones that leave you learning something completely new that you never thought of before? Well, there's a show for that right here on Blaze Radio. On Let's Have a Conversation, host Rome Katie introduces you to a new guest each week and has fun yet real conversations with them. Whether it's sports, music, or pop culture, anything goes. So come kick your feet up and relax after a long week and tune in to BlazeRadioOnline.com every Friday from 4:30 to 5 p.m. Arizona time for an interesting conversation each week. That's BlazeRadioOnline.com.
Do you want news about the Big 12? Do you want analysis on every football game? Do you want coverage on sports like lacrosse and beach volleyball? Well, guess what? You're in for a treat. Introducing Big 12 at 12 with your host, me, Dimitri Kurlik. It's the show for Big 12 sports and Big 12 sports only. Make sure to tune in every Wednesday for analysis and breakdown of every Big 12 game from 12 p.m. to 12:30, only on Blaze Radio.
Back here for the bottom of the 9th on Blaze Radio, 13-4 West Virginia. And a new pitcher for the Mountaineers to slam the door. It's the southpaw, J.D. Costanzo, who hasn't seen a ton of action this season. An inning in 2/3, 4 hits allowed, 1 run, 3 walks, 1 strikeout. And will face the bottom of the Sun Devil lineup.
He actually pitched 2/3 of an inning last night. Gave up, I should say, 1 earned run on 2 hits, a walk and a strikeout as well for him. So interesting throwing a guy back-to-back nights in a series, but I guess when he only had 2/3 of an inning of work, he'd be eligible for that.
So we're going to get some changes all around here. This would be Dominic Longo's spot in the order, but instead it's the lefty Sam Myers. First plate appearance of the night for Arizona State. So left on left, that's a tough way to enter a game. Costanzo will wind, uncoil, fire, and it's called a strike on the outside corner at 79.
Myers didn't have too bad of a year at TCU in 2024 either. He was on the all Big 12 freshman team and then was a rotational infielder for them last year.
0-1. Fastball skied foul and out of play near the parking lot to the left.
He only had 12 appearances, 4 starts, 348 batting average, though. But again, ASU's middle infield was so talented last year. It was so tough to break in.
From Cypress, Texas, standing at just 5'9" from the left side. 0-2 slashed into left field, racing in as the left fielder, but he can't get there. Falls in front of his feet. That's Graveland. How about that? Enter the game, get yourself a knock.
Trying to change the mojo somehow.
It's a good piece of hitting with 2 strikes, just going the other way.
2 strikes, lefty on lefty going the other way. That's a terrific piece of hitting anytime at any level. I mean, the physics aren't on your side whatsoever to try and push the ball the other way.
Costanzo comes set from the third base side of the rubber. Fires home to Nikolai, misses low. So Lochlan, you're down 13-4. More than likely not coming back, but you can still build momentum into tomorrow's contest. This inning does matter.
It absolutely does, and you can't just roll over and die in this ballgame.
1-0, lined into right center. That one's down for a base hit. Going from first to third is Myers, picked up by the center fielder. And I believe that's newly entered Barjam. Runners will be on the corners. Cohen Nikolai with his first hit of the night.
Yeah, he's gotten the short end of the stick tonight as the catcher. Strikeout and a pair of flyouts, so good for him to send a nice piece. And for ASU, maybe they think they can take advantage a little bit here of Costanzo, just given that he pitched last night for him as well.
Time is called as Costanzo will be accompanied by Kelly, the pitching coach. And we'll have another pinch hitter for Arizona State. This will be Matt Polk, 5'11", outfielder from Long Beach, California, transferred in from Vanderbilt. Hasn't seen a ton of time this season. ASU's outfield obviously crowded with Hairston, Toigo, Longo. It's tough to get time. But 22 at-bats, just 5 hits, has a shot here.
I mean, if you think the outfield's crowded this year, I mean, last year was something else.
You had Compton, Jackson, Vu.
And then Landon Hairston was kind of your plug-and-play guy here and there, right? It was he could hardly break into the lineup at times.
Yes, and the reason that Hairston got that first look was when Kean Vu went down with that injury. I remember he ran past first base. There was a tough collision. He was banged up for quite some time. Then he had an ankle issue. And now we're talking about Landon Hairston as potentially being a top 10 pick in the MLB draft in a couple of seasons when he's eligible.
I mean, all 3 of those guys from the outfield last year for ASU are all MLB draft picks as well.
Polk will take a ball in tight from Costanza. Last time that Polk got the start was against Kansas State on the 22nd. The last time he got in that bat, got 3 of them. That one, though, is crushed on the 1-0. Going back to the wall is Graveland, looking up, sayonara. For just the second time this season, Matt Polk sends one over the wall. Arizona State back to 13-7.
Boy, Aidan, we mentioned this inning matters. Boy, for Matt Polk, you know, you look at his stats, he started 51 games in 23-24 with Vandy. In 52 appearances, and he hit .316. He's a talented hitter, and you give a guy a chance, anything can happen.
Costanza, it's been a rough go of things. 3 straight hits. Now he's got to face the beef. Landon Hairston, first pitch called the strike.
Hairston's almost wishing that that ball didn't go over the wall just so we could have runners in scoring position.
0-1. Fastball, check swing. He went around. No appeal from the home plate umpire, Christopher Gonzalez. Hairston down 0-2. He's 2 for 4 tonight with a pair of extra base hits. A double in the first and that 2-run shot in the 5th. 0-2. Breaking ball just misses outside. It was the heater, actually. Paralysis fastball that just missed away.
I mean, I don't know about you, Aidan, but I don't think I've ever seen a guy who is hitting better with runners in scoring position than he is average in total.
1-2. Tough to hold up on a breaking ball that misses just low. You look up at the scoreboard. He's batted .471 with 14 homers.
44 ribbies. That's unbelievable.
2-2. Got him swinging. It was a half-hearted attempt on the fastball at the base of the zone. And the first out recorded for Costanza is punching out Landon Hairston.
And again, all that happening for Arizona State with still nobody out, and now it's up to the top of the order, and they haven't necessarily gotten things done just yet in this ball game. But I gotta love it. Costanzo gives up a 3-run shot at the bottom of the order, and then he stares down ASU's best hitter after he swords him on a K.
Mutsaritas takes up and in. I mean, anything to get that confidence back, right?
You gotta love the swagger of college baseball pitchers.
Oh, of course.
Unbelievable.
1-0. Breaking ball gets the top of the zone just at the belt. Crowd doesn't love that one. Mutsaritas has reached twice. Had his lone hit back in the 8th. Defense straight up. 1-1, 1 out, nobody on. Fastball called a strike at the knees. Mutsaritas transferred in from Cal just like Dom Smaldino.
Couple great additions from the Golden Bears in the ACC.
1-2 heater misses up, and prior to last night, where he went 0 for 3, was riding a 6-game hitting streak. And in the 8th inning, potentially started a new one with that single. 2-2. Fastball outside corner, called strike 3, and freezes PJ Mutsaritas. So after 3 straight hits to start the ninth, Costanzo back-to-back punch-outs.
Now final out is potentially Austin Rolig, who's only gotten on base once tonight. A bit of a disappointing performance at the plate for him. He's been active defensively.
0 for 3, reaching on that hit by pitch. First pitch to Rolig, swung on and missed. It's 0-1.
And Costanzo had him guessing there on that breaking ball. Just a frisbee at the top of the zone.
0-1. Fastball grounded softly to the shortstop, and Einish. He'll charge in. He'll make the play. He'll throw to first, and that will do it. J.D. Costanzo, despite 3 hits at the start of the ninth, retires the top of this order. Hairston, Mutsaritas, and Rolig to put a stamp on a West Virginia victory. 13-7 the score.
West Virginia clearly had vengeance on their mind after last night. Them and ASU both had 13 hits. ASU had 14 runs to the 4 for West Virginia, and they came out with the same mindset. I think they got a little bit unlucky last night with just great defensive plays when they had runners in scoring position. And today they capitalized. They sprayed the ball around the field, and they put a lot of pressure on Arizona State and their pitching staff at all times. Even though during the middle third of that ball game they got quiet and ASU looked like they maybe could take advantage, they didn't. And again, Max Yale was just phenomenal for them. The beat goes on for him. Make it 3 straight starts over 6 innings. He didn't get the K numbers per se, but he got a lot of weak contact, a lot of lazy fly balls in the air from the Sun Devils. Boy, Arizona State's got to change their approach if they want success tomorrow. I think they were swinging for the fences far too much tonight after riding high from Friday night's victory.
Well, let's start with West Virginia, the team that won. Max Yale, you just hit the nail on the head, but make that 4 straight starts now where he's gone 6+ innings. Tonight, his final totals: 7 innings pitched, 5 hits, 3 runs, 4 Ks, and the biggest stat of them all, no walks. He continues to not allow free passes.
And it's unbelievable because, again, we were talking all throughout the broadcast, right? You get a pitcher who pounds the zone like Yale against a team that hits just about everything in sight and has been hitting every baseball that's been moving at 80 miles an hour and above, it seems. Like the Sun Devils have been red hot at the plate, and you think, okay, they're facing a guy who's loading it up. They're gonna see a lot of strikes. They're gonna hit a lot of strikes, and they didn't. The weak contact that he forced His fastball to changeup to slider movement was terrific. His pitch sequencing was awesome and had ASU off balance all night. I mean, his backdoor slider to right-handed hitters early in counts really got them off balance, and then he mixed that with the fastball down and away, and then he challenged them again. He was challenging hitters a lot tonight, and ASU, again, just wasn't quite up to the challenge, but Maxiel was phenomenal on the bump.
And then offensively for West Virginia, coming into the contest, a man riding an 18-game hitting streak continued to add on to that with flying colors. Gavin Kelly batting second, doing the catching. He reached, 4 times, a single, a 2-run shot in the 8th, and then an RBI single in the 9th. 19-game hitting streak, another home run. This guy's unreal.
Yeah, and the beat goes on again, and the main thing that I get from tonight is West Virginia is legit. They are legit, and I think that if you look at their schedule and you're like, they haven't played very many teams, like Georgia Southern, Marshall, it doesn't really do it for me. Well, this is one of the best lineups in a pitching staff in Arizona State that is much improved and continuing to get better, and they shut them down after a tough loss last night. So I think for them, they're proving why they're at the top of the Big 12. They're proving why they've made super regionals each of the last 2 years and regionals each of the last 4 years as well. I mean, this is a terrific ball club, and it all sets up for tomorrow afternoon, the rubber match. And you figured no team was going to get out to a 2-0 series lead. I just did not see that for either one of these ball clubs, especially with Yale starting on the Saturday night. This was West Virginia's far and away best chance to win a game here in Phoenix, but it's going to set up for a terrific rubber match with a couple angry teams tomorrow.
And we talk Landon Hairston. He had the 2-run shot again. He's been absolutely ridiculous. But when you look at Arizona State as a whole, losing by 6 tonight, where do you think it went wrong, and how do they bounce back tomorrow?
I think their approach was wrong in the sense where it's almost been too good to be true at the plate for a lot of guys. And I think you get complacent when that happens, right? You expect results instead of working for them. And I think that's one thing Willie Bloomquist is going to preach, where when this ASU lineup is at their best, it's when they're grinding, when they're taking pitches, when they're seeing more, when they're getting deeper into teams' bullpens and rotations. I think that's when they're at their best. And West Virginia used 3 pitchers tonight through 9 innings, and Arizona State used a lot more than that. It comes down to that, and I think the Sun Devils have to change their approach. I think you got to hope that for Bloomquist and his team that this kind of humbled them a little bit, that you can be on a heater at the plate, but at the end of the day, some nights you're not all that, and you gotta play small ball. You got to put the ball in play and try and hit balls hard at times, but not try and ooh and ah the crowd with home runs.
Probables for tomorrow: Chanson Cole on the mound for West Virginia. He's 3-0 with a 4 ERA. And on the other side, Cole Klecker, who's been a breath of fresh air for Arizona State. The hometown kid, went to TCU right out of high school, now back. Got a good one in store. Tonight, West Virginia, they picked up their 18th win of the season. They moved to 6-2 in Big 12 play. 11-4 on the road, and for Arizona State now 20-7, but still heck of a record. 5-3 in conference, 16-2 at home. Just their second loss of the season at Phoenix Municipal Stadium. Final totals from tonight's contest: it's 13-7. West Virginia wins. 16 hits for the Mountaineers to just 10 for ASU. 2 errors for West Virginia, and 1 for Arizona State. For our great sideline reporter, Jordan Talley, my partner, Lochlan McTeague, I'm Aidan O'Neill signing off. Rubber match tomorrow, and it's on primetime. ESPN 2, 5:05 first pitch. We'll have it on Blaze, though. And we'll see you next time from Muni.